Welcome to Sugar Land, Texas. We're live at Constellation Field, home of your Atlantic League champion Sugar Land Skeeters, who come in with a record of 35-32 in the second half. They are 65-72 overall. They will take on the Ducks, who are 36-31 here in the second half, 72-65 overall. The Skeeters are currently 4 games back in the Freedom Division in third place. They unfortunately have been eliminated from playoff contention this year. The Ducks are 2 games up on the Bridgeport. They could clinch a playoff spot here tonight. Today is game number 138 of the season, home game number 63. You can hear all home and road games here on 1560 AM. Hi, I'm Ira Liebman, joined by Andy Humphrey, Nathan Werner back in the studio. And unfortunately, Andy, before the Skeeters even lost an extra innings last night, York won, so the Skeeters knew that they were already out of playoff contention. Kind of a shame don't even get a chance to get into the playoffs and have a shot at repeating and defending your championship, but there's always something to play for. Obviously, there's team records, there's individual accomplishments, there's personal goals, there's playing for a job next season, so there's always something, even with 3 games left to go, to get excited for.
Yeah, and I think one of those things is making sure that these Long Island Ducks don't clinch on your home field, as the Long Island Ducks are a win and a Bridgeport loss away from clinching the division title in the Liberty Division. The Skeeters would love to spoil that for them by sweeping them in this series. Of course, they got to start with a win here tonight, and you know, that's one of the worst things. If you ask any baseball player, seeing the opposing team pop champagne on your own field is definitely something that you do not want to see. So the Skeeters are going to do whatever they can, believe you me, to prevent that from happening this weekend.
I think regardless, the Skeeters will always have the edge. They popped the champagne last year, won the championship, not just getting into the playoffs on Long Island. So I think whatever happens here, the Skeeters will have the edge in that category. Just before we got on the air, Albert Cordero was named the Skeeters Community Man of the Year, and he's done a great job here, second season with the Skeeters, and he's done a lot, volunteered for a lot of things, both on and off the field, so congratulations to him. We'll hear from him tomorrow on that award. But the national anthem is ready to get underway, so we will duck out, no pun intended. When we come back, the starting lineups and the first pitch, and it's time to play ball when we return right here to Constellation Field in just a moment. Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Long Island Ducks. Starting lineup brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union, whether it's Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan. Be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading it off is Giovanni Alfonso. He'll be at third. Batting second and playing second is Elmer Reyes. In the 3-hole right fielder, Lou Ford. The cleanup hitter will be left fielder Mark Krause. Batting fifth, switch hitting Ruben Gotay at first. The DH Angelo Sanko, he'll bat sixth. Alex Berg is the catcher, batting seventh. Switch hitting Delta Cleary Jr. bats eighth. He'll be the center fielder. And batting ninth, Gold Glove Award winner here in the Atlantic League, shortstop Dan Lyons.
In the outfield for the Sugar Land Skeeters from left to right, Caleb Ramsey, Cole Gillespie, and Joe Benson. On the left side of the infield, Brian Pounds at third, Kevin Aarons at shortstop. Right side, Travis Scott holds the first base duties with Josh Prince to his right at second base. Behind the dish is the Skeeters Community Man of the Year, Albert Cordero, catching the righty on the mound, Patrick Mincy.
Oh, Mincy, in his one start with the Skeeters, 0-1 on a 180 ERA, but that was a game he lost 1-0. Pitched very well in his first start. 5 innings, 5 hits, just 1 earned run. He struck out 3, walked 1, 58 pitches, 41 of them for strikes. And he is a 27-year-old right-hander, 6'3", 195, originally from Hartsville, South Carolina. Signed as an undrafted free agent by the Schaumburg Boomers in 2012. He began the season and really most of the year with the Railroaders. 10-8, a 3.33 ERA, 21 games all starts, and this is a guy who only had 5 career starts before this season. Minor league career numbers: 6 seasons, 27-17 with a 3.46 ERA. Well, stepping in to lead this one off is the right-hander hitting third baseman Giovanni Alfonso. First pitch by the Skeeters right-hander is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1, and we are underway. Game 1, the final series of the 2017 season. Game 1 of a 3-game set, also Game 4 of a 6-game homestand. This one is fouled off to the right side, and quickly Mincy out in front, no balls and 2 strikes, and you saw Mincy on the road in his first start. Andy, what really impressed you about him?
He is a fast worker. He could probably be, me too. He could probably be the Skeeters' fastest worker all season long, and that is really saying something.
Yeah, no kidding. Marshall works fast, Talbot works quickly. This one slung outside, slider misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
You know, Knicks like to work at a pretty rapid pace, but Mincy wastes almost no time, and that's really what has helped him transition from a reliever to starter.
Scott into shallow right field. Joe Benson underneath it, and he'll bring it down for the first out. Well, that game be pitching a 7-inning contest, so going 5 did a very nice job. And so far, 1 batter, 1 out, none out for Elmer Reyes. Reyes comes in at .303, 5 home runs, 55 RBIs. He is also tied for 3rd in the league with 139 hits, and his batting average is good for 8th in the league. Not the superstitious type either. Wears number 13. Pretty straight up stance, feet fairly close together from the right side of the box, and the first pitch is a little bit low and in. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. A little bit more on Minty. He is not far into the Atlantic League. He spent 2015 with the Bridgeport Bluefish, who we just saw here last night. This one is a strike, and not only does he work quick, throws a lot of strikes. 0-2 for the second straight batter to start this one. Mincy quickly gets the side here, and now Reyes doesn't like the rapid pace he's working at, so he calls timeout. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here. The umpire signals 1 ball and 1 strike. Somebody's got to get it right. Manual scoreboard not correct. This one is shot into right field as he goes the other way for a base hit. 1 on and 1 out here for Lou Ford. The 41-year-old does not seem to age. Still on top of his game. Comes in .273, 9 home runs, 31 RBIs, and Lou hamstring a bit better, playing the outfield again in right here tonight. Well, Ford, unfortunately for the Ducks last year when the Skeeters saw him in the championship series, he was clearly not 100%, maybe not even 50%. And hate to say it, but that was a big benefit to the Skeeters. Ford is an extremely difficult hitter even still, but he was not at his best in the championship series last year. A Texas native, now living on Long Island near where the Ducks play at Bethpage Ballpark. Now Lou's the kind of guy who can 2-3 hits a game, it seems. This one is a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Just underway here, top of the first. Ira Liebman along with Andy Humphrey. Nathan Werner back in the studio. Ford was actually bypassed in high school, was not drafted. Originally went to Texas A&M, and this one is skied into left center field. Long run by Caleb Ramsey, and he'll bring it down in left for out number 2. So 2 down, 1 up from Mark Krause. Krause having a great year, 282, 21 home runs, tied for 5th in the league, 83 RBIs, tied for 2nd, but that's only a glimpse of what he's done. His on-base percentage, 118 points higher. He is 4th in the league with an even 400 on-base percentage. He is also 4th in the league in slugging at 511, tied with Prince and a couple of others with 73 runs scored, and he is tied for 4th with 52 extra base hits. I keep kind of looking at the potential player of the year candidates, and to me right now it's Snyder from the Blue Crabs and Sean Halton of Lancaster, but you could throw Krause's name in there, Andy.
Absolutely. The way that he has torn up this league, especially in the middle part of the season when Long Island was on their big streak, he was a big part of that.
Ford, who just batted a former player of the year here in the Atlantic League. Of course, it was Jeremy Barfield, the defending player of the year for the Skeeters. Had a great year after getting signed earlier this season with AA Erie and a few games at AAA Pawtucket. He had a combined 37 home runs this year between the Skeeters and the Red Sox organization. 2 balls and no strikes here on the left-hand hitting left fielder, Mark Krause. We're going to set up inside here on Krause. And this one is a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Krause, a former Astro, played for Houston in 2013 and 2014. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here. 2 outs, 1 on. Mincy from the stretch has his left foot to the left side of the mound. Not parallel with his right foot. 3 balls and a strike here to Krause. Got to be careful. Even though the wind is blowing in from left, Krause has a ton of power. Mincy looks in here at Cordero as his pace has slowed down just a bit with a runner on. Throw over to first. A couple of quick steps back to first, standing up for Reyes. Reyes on the season, not really a stolen base threat. He has stolen 1 base, been caught twice. In fact, the only really major threat in this lineup is Delta Cleary Jr. with 25 steals. This one way outside, ball 4, and I think Mincy was trying to be careful there with the cleanup hitter Krause. A first free pass of the evening for Mincy. 2 on, 2 out. That'll bring in former big leaguer, the switch inning first baseman Ruben Gotay, who will bat here from the left side against the Skeeters right-hander Patrick Mincy. Game time temp 86 degrees, 63% humidity, and a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Well, Gotay comes in at 267 with 6 home runs and 28 RBIs. Mincy comes inside here on Gotay in the first pitch. Gotay, a very wide open stance from the left side. All his weight on his front toe. His heel does not touch. First pitch here, a strike, 0-1. Gotay, originally from Puerto Rico, was drafted out of Indian Hills College in Iowa, a JUCO. Drafted by the Royals in the 31st round in 2001. The 0-1 here by Mincy. This one is swung a little nubbery in front of the plate. Mincy will field it himself, and he'll throw it to first, right to Travis Scott, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Ducks do not score here in the top of the first. Skeeters coming to bat for the first time when we return. Welcome back to Constellation Field. Time to take a look at the starting lineup for your Sugarland Skeeters, brought to you by MemberSource Credit Union. Whether it's a Skeeters checking account, an auto loan, or a home loan, be sure to check out MemberSource's complete lineup at membersourcecu.org. Leading off is Josh Prince. He'll be at second. Batting second is catcher Albert Cordero. In the 3-hole, Cole Gillespie, he'll be in center. The cleanup hitter and first baseman is Travis Scott. At short, Kevin Aarons bats fifth. Batting sixth, Brian Pounds at third. Caleb Ramsey in left bat seventh. Wilfredo Rodriguez is the DH. He'll bat eighth and batting ninth. Skeeters right fielder Joe Benson.
Long Island will go with this outfield from left to right. Mark Krause, Delta Query Jr., Lou Ford. On the left side of the infield, Giovanni Alfonso at third base with Dan Lyons at short. Right side, Omar Reyes at second base with Ruben Gotay playing first. Alex Berg has the catching duties for the right-hander on the mound, Matt Marsh.
Oh, Matt Marsh making his second start, his 10th appearance. 13 and a third so far with the Ducks. 9 hits, 16 walks, 16 strikeouts, just 2 walks. A 26-year-old right-hander is 6'3", 210 from Clinton, Tennessee. Originally signed by the Yankees in 2014 as a non-drafted free agent out of Liberty University in Virginia. He's appeared in 2 games against the Skeeters, no starts, no record, no ERA. We'll face the Skeeters stolen base king, who now owns both the single season and all-time Skeeters stolen base records. Prince comes in at 265, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs. First pitch a strike, 0-1. Second in the league in walks with 82. First in steals with 52, and he's tied for third in runs scored with 73. Prince closing in on some other personal milestones. 1 home run short of tying his career high, or setting a new career high, and he's 3 RBIs short of tying his career high in ribbies as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count here to Prince. Josh hitting very, very well as of late. Prince 18 for his last 44, a 409 mark over his last 11 ball games. So 4 ribbies and 5 runs scored. Check swing here. They appeal. He did not go. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Prince. No score here, bottom of the first. Skeeters batting for the first time. Matt Marsh, the right-hander, as I mentioned, a former Yankee prospect. 4 years as a pro, 13 and 9, a 3.30 ERA coming in. Another check swing. No, they say he went around. That'll be strike 3, so Prince strikes out. That is the first K for Marsh. 1 out, none on here for Albert Cordero in the 2-hole for the first time this year. The switch hitter comes in at 246 with 4 home runs and 37 RBIs. Marsh began the year at Trenton at Double-A for the Yankees. 2-2 with a 3.68 ERA. Went to 3 different colleges: Austin Peay State University, Chipola College, and as I mentioned, Liberty. This one grounded up the middle, just past the diving Dan Lyons behind second. That's going to be a single here for Cordero. 1 on and 1 out for Cole Gillespie. I'll bring in Gillespie, 297, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs. Cole, the former big leaguer, has been part of 8 years in the bigs. 7 for his last 23, a 304 mark since returning from the DL. It's over the course of 6 games. Last year spent time in the bigs with the Marlins. Last 22 games, he has really hit a ton between stints on the disabled list. 359, 28 for 78. This one is a little bit inside, ball 1, 1-0. Umpires for tonight, Joe Harris is behind the dish, Ken Langford at first, and Brad Parker is the third base umpire. Righty-righty matchup here from Marsh. This one is swung and fouled into the screen. Good cut there by Gillespie. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. No score here in the bottom of the first. Man who played his entire career in the Yankees organization before joining the Ducks this year said, Really about the difference between playing for the Yankees organization and other organizations, that it was the discipline. That a lot more is expected of him. There goes Cordero, and he's going to steal second. Wow. Talk about taking a pitcher by surprise. Cordero swipes second. We've seen Cordero not only swipe a bag here, but Rodriguez, the Skeeters' other catcher, he's stolen a few bags lately. He is 5-0, but Cordero, a guy who is actually catching almost every day now, steals his 6th base of the year. He is actually 6 for 7, so between the Skeeters' 2 catchers, they're 11 of 12. Curve stays a little bit high. 3 balls and 1 strike the count here to Cole Gillespie. 1 out, 1 on. No score here in the bottom of the first. One of the playoff spots will most likely, well, possibly be decided today as Gillespie draws ball 4. So a free pass, first and second, 1 out for Travis Scott. If the Ducks win and Bridgeport loses, the Ducks will be the Liberty Division second half champs. The other scenario is Lancaster and York, and all York needs is 1 win, but keep in mind they are playing Lancaster. So that magic number is 1, but the Barnstormers are up 9-1 right now in the top of the 5th. On the other hand, Somerset is beating the Bridgeport Bluefish 2-1, that one in the top of the 4th. So for Bridgeport to make it, they need the Skeeters to sweep the Ducks, and they need to sweep Somerset. This one is hit into right center field for a base hit. Cordero got a good jump. He's going to be waved around. Here comes the throw. It'll be cut off. Cordero scores, and it is 1-0 Skeeters.
He did get a good jump, not only on a stolen base, but on that line drive from Travis Scott, who jumped out on the first pitch from Matt Marsh. And a couple pretty good base hits from both Cordero and Scott to start things off against Marsh, who now is really feeling the pressure in the bottom of the first inning.
Keep in mind, it's going to be very difficult for him to go 5. He is making just his 2nd start. And the last thing Kevin Baez, the Ducks manager, wants to do is tax that bullpen here when he needs a little bit of help or win 2 games on his own. He would have to win 2 of 3 to clinch. Kevin Aarons will step in. The RBI by Scott, by the way, his 57th of the year. This pitch here is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Aaron's 280, 12 home runs, tied for 9th in the league in RBIs with 68. He's also 2nd in the league in doubles with 35. This one is chopped foul off of 3rd. So Marsh has Aaron's down, no balls and 2 strikes to count here. Kevin, a all-star this year for the Skeeters, has hit in 7 of his last 8 games, going 11 for 33, a .333 mark. The Ducks already here in the first inning down 1-0. After a long travel day in. The 0-2 here from Marsh. This one swung and a missed, strike 3 as Aaron chased the ball low and away. And there's out number 2, 2nd strikeout here for Marsh.
Yeah, Aaron's got a little fooled on that pitch. Probably thought that slider was going to come in a little bit slower than he thought it did, and all of a sudden had to try and put on an emergency swing to try and foul it off, but was unable to get contact.
Well, in steps Brian Pounds with 2 on and 2 out, and the Skeeters leading 1-0. Pounds really hitting well right now. He has hit in 4 of his last 5 games, going 7 for 16, a red-hot .438 clip. He's also walked 4 times, been on base 11 times in the last 5 games. Here's a bullet down the left field line. That's a fair ball. This one's going to rattle around in the corner. Around 3rd, scoring easily is Gillespie. Scott will stop at 3rd. A double for Pounds, and it is 2-0 Sugarland.
Again, a hitter jumping out on the first pitch. Skeeters might have Matt Marsh's number in this bottom of the first inning. That was a laser off the bat of Brian Pounds.
Oh, Pounds gets his 50th RBI of the season. And for Pounds, that is also double number 18. Skeeters could make it 4-0 here if Caleb Ramsey could get a hit. Ramsey 258, 2 home runs and 24 RBIs for Caleb, as we have back-to-back Houstonians and former U of H Cougars here. This one a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed hitting left fielder. Ramsey usually plays right. Tonight he is in left. Benson in right. A long first inning here for Matt Marsh. 16 pitches already, 10 for strikes. This one is slowly hit to short. Dan Lyons has it. The throw to first just gets the speedy Ramsey, and that will do it. But not before the Skeeters send 7 men to the plate. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base through 1 inning of play. Skeeters already up 2-0. Oh, we move to the top of the second. Skeeters right-hander Patrick Mincy has a 2-0 lead to work with now. We'll face 6, 7, and 8 here in the Ducks order. Angelo Sacco, Alex Berg, and Delta Cleary Jr. Skeeters last night drew 4,514 fans and went over the 300,000 mark for all 6 seasons in franchise history now, including going over the 2 million mark earlier this year, just after the All-Star break. Also, the Atlantic League has gone over the 2 million mark again this season. The Ducks have drawn now 7 million in their history. This one misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Sanko. The left-hander hitting DH, 258, 23 home runs, tied for 3rd in the league. 78 RBIs, also tied for 3rd. As this one is a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. See 19 pitches now, 10 for strikes, 9 for balls. The 2-1, Swanee hit high in the air but playable. Benson coming in, still coming in. Now we'll bring it down for out number 1. Skeeters right fielder, 1 out, none on for Alex Berg. And the catcher, Berg, very good defensively. He is specifically good on going back on foul balls. Not the easiest thing for a catcher, but man, you put him near a net, which is usually dangerous territory for a catcher. Comes up with the most attempts. Also a decent hitter. I think if you get 250 out of your catcher with all the wear and tear, you're happy. He's a little below that at 222, but he has 12 home runs and 40 RBIs, so I think you'll take the trade-off there. Skeeters leading 2-0 here in the top of the second. 1 out, none on here for the Ducks. Strike on the outside corner here by Mincy. No balls and 1 strike to count. Sugarland 2 runs on 3 hits. The Ducks no runs on just 1. The 0-1 by Mincy. Laid on the fastball, swung on a miss. No balls and 2 strikes here. Wind picking up a little. Already getting dark here at 7:30 as the summer is quickly leaving us. Last day of summer, September 21st. This one swung and missed strike 3. Same pitch, same result. High and outside. First K of the day, and there is 2 away. 3 in a row now retired by Patrick Mincy. The switch hitting Delta Cleary Jr. will step in. Cleary Jr. 261, 3 home runs, 43 RBIs. He's tied for 10th in the league with 25 steals. The switch hitter will bat here from the left side against Skeeters right-hander Patrick Mincy. First pitch here by Mincy to Cleary Jr. is a strike. No balls and one strike to count. Cleary Jr. was actually a three-star athlete at Arkansas High School. He was a quarterback of the football team, helped the basketball team win the 6A state championship. As an explosive player, easily dunks the ball, and he is the cousin of NBA star Sean Marion. In the spring of 2008, he was part of Louisiana State Eunice team that captured the second Division II Junior College World Series. Eventually was drafted by the Rockies in the 37th round in 2008. Been with the Ducks since 2015, so 3 years now. During those 3 years, he has stolen 91 bases for the Ducks, including a career-high 34 in 2015. This one fouled right in front of us, top of the net. No balls and two strikes to count. 1 ball and 2 strikes, as the scoreboard operator really going to have to pay attention here tonight. Skeeters are leading 2-0 here at the top of the second. I'll set up inside. This one is swung and fouled into the net. Count remains 1-2. Cleary Jr. owns 238 career stolen bases. One time, Baseball America Prospect Handbook named him the 11th best prospect in the Rockies organization. The 1-2. Swung and missed, strike 3. Great pitch by Mincy, low and in. Tied him up. Second K of the day. And there is 3 away. A 1-2-3 inning here for Patrick Mincy. Middle of the second. Skeeter still up 2-0. Well, Matt Deaton returns to Constellation Field for the final time tonight. We'll be playing live up at the Insperity Club after the game, so if you're already up there after the game, stick around. And if you're not, come on up to the Insperity Club when this one is over. The always entertaining and versatile Austin artist plays just about everything from country to rock to 80s and even takes requests. So make sure to catch the fun and talented Matt Deaton live in the Insperity Club tonight here at Constellation Field. Skeeters leading 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the second. Wilfredo Rodriguez will lead it off for the Skeeters. Sugar Land sent 7 men to the plate in the bottom of the first against Marsh. So only Rodriguez and Benton, who is on deck, have not batted, and then back to the top of the order with Josh Prince. Wilfredo comes in at .331, 3 home runs and 26 ribbies. First pitch fouled into the screen. No balls and 1 strike to count. Rodriguez, despite his .331 average, going to fall a little bit short this season of qualifying amongst the league leaders. Otherwise, he'd be in batting title contention. Leo 1 here from Matt Marsh, and the Ducks right-hander sends this one low and away. 1 ball in, 1 strike to count. Rodriguez hitting .295 over his last 19 games, going 18 for 61. Marsh kicks and deals the 1-1. This one is slowly grounded towards short. Lyons charges it, fires it, and gets Rodriguez by a few steps, and there's one away. I'll bring in Joe Benson. Benson 256, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs, tied for 5th in the league with 4 triples. Mentioned Marsh played in the Yankees organization. Said not only were they strict, but it was pretty cool. They would bring guys like Reggie Jackson, show up at Nashville, and you'd work with some of the young prospects and take them under their wing. I thought it was pretty cool, and I think that's some of the advantages you get. I think the Astros are going to get a lot of that now. They have 2 Hall of Famers, and when you come in as a rookie and you get to see Bagwell and Biggio and they're telling you things, you kind of take it a little more in stride than you would over maybe a coach that didn't have the credentials. And it's hard not to come into Yankee spring training and listen to Jeter and A-Rod and Reggie Jackson and all the others that show up. Chopped to third, sounded like a broken bat by Benson. Alfonso's throw across the diamond in time, and quickly 2 ground ball outs. So 2 outs, none on. The Prince of Sugar Land will trot to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Josh, 265, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs. He has exactly the same amount of RBIs and stolen bases at 52. And despite some miracle it would take for him to lose it, but looks like he will be the 2nd Skeeter ever to win the stolen base title here in the Atlantic League. Both times it was 50 plus. Adam Godwin did it with 50 steals in 2013, and he got number 50 against these Ducks. This one is swung and foul tipped into the mitt of Alex Berg. No balls and 1 strike to count. Marsh began the season with the Tampa Yanks and really had a good year. I was very surprised he got released. He had no record, a .68 ERA in 9 games and 1 start. For some reason, the Yankees did not hold on to him. Last year with 3 different teams in the Yankees organization, AA and rookie ball. He was 7-2 at 259 ERA, 7 saves in 38 games, all in relief, and impressive numbers as well. 66 innings, allowed just 50 hits, struck out 71 in those 66 innings, while walking only 18. I'm kind of surprised he was not a more coveted prospect. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here to Prince. Skeeters leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 2nd. But 2-1, they set him outside. This one high and away. That'll run the count to 3-1. What are your first impressions of Matt Marsh, Andy?
Kind of pauses in the middle of his windup a couple of times, especially when he steps back, and then with the leg kick as well.
The 3-1. This one is popped up right side. Will it stay in play? Go tie. Looks like he has a play. The wind blowing it, and it'll hit the top of the Skeeters dugout. So that wind blew that ball out of play. Otherwise, probably a routine foul pop-up to go tie. Prince has more life. Mr. 6 pitch at bat. We'll see number 6 here with a full count, 3-2. The wind continues to swirl and change throughout the game, as it often does here at Constellation Field. Look at the carousel out there, Andy. It looks bizarre without a roof on top of it. Part of Hurricane Harvey damage. This one low and away, ball 4. That is the 83rd walk of the season for Prince. He is 2nd in the league in that category. Now we will try to add to his stolen base record. Stands at 52 here. 2 outs. Prince at first. Again, I think he's going to be going at some point as Albert Cordero steps in. But it was Cordero who stole the first base in this game. That was stolen base number 158, and the Skeeters now 2 steals away from tying their franchise team record of 160, which was also set back in 2013, paced by Adam Godwin's 50. There goes Prince. The throw down to 2nd is high and sails wide and into right center. Prince up. He will head down to 3rd. Stolen base number 53. And now the Skeeters are 1 stolen base shy of tying the franchise team record for a single season.
Got a good jump, and that really tailed away from Alex Berg. Usually when you throw it straight at second base and you aim straight for it, it will tail to your right if you're a right-handed thrower, and it definitely sailed away from second base, or the shortstop who was coming to cover that time, and went into center.
1-0 the count here to Cordero. Now a 2-out hit would score Prince easily. Perhaps a wild pitch, swung and missed, and that one got a piece of Berg. Ouch. I don't know where that hit him, but man, he took a beating, and Cordero just taps him on the chest to say, I know how you feel, buddy. Oh, both Cordero, as a catcher himself, will step out of the box to give him a little more time. Joe Harris delivers the ball personally to Matt Marsh to give Berg a little more time as well. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Prince down at third. Skeeters leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. .31 pitches now for Marsh. 19 for strikes, 12 for balls. The 1-1 here to Cordero. This one is swung and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And when I say Marsh, the team and I often refer to Brett Marshall as Marsh, but this is the Ducks right-hander, Matt Marsh. Both Yankee prospects, coincidentally. This one in the dirt. Gets away from Berg, but only a few feet to his right. Prince holds on at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Skeeters leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. The way Marsh is going here, it's going to be a struggle to get through 5, which Ducks manager Kevin Baez really needs him to do here. The 2-2 coming here to Cordero. This one low it in. Nice block by Berg. That'll run the count full 3-2. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Skeeters. No runs on 1 for the Ducks. Long Island has committed 1 error. The Skeeters have not. Cordero coming into this game in a little bit of a slide, hitting .208 over his last 7 games, going 5 for 24, but has a hit already here tonight. Payoff pitch, swung and missed here. Strike 3 as Marsh pounds his mitt. His 3rd strikeout of the night gets him out of a jam. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We are through 2. Skeeters 2, Ducks nothing. Well, big night here at Constellation Field. It is Faith and Fireworks. Skeeters taking on the Ducks here in the final series of the regular season. Be sure to make it here to the ballpark. If you're listening, come on down. The biggest fireworks of the year. It'll be double the show, double the effect, double the fun. Fireworks show is also a salute to the Hurricane Harvey heroes. So still not too late. Fireworks after the game. Still have about 2 hours if you're listening. Certainly be worth the ticket of admission. Catch the end of the game and see the biggest fireworks show and final fireworks show of the season. Well, Skeeters are leading 2-0 as we move to the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be 9-1 and 2. The only batter not to hit for either team. Dan Lyons will step in. Then back to the top of the order with Giovanni Alfonso and Elmer Reyes. Lyons in 2015 won the very first Rawlings Gold Glove Award, awarded to the Atlantic League as the Defensive Player of the Year. We just saw the last year recipient last night, Luis Hernandez for the Bridgeport Bluefish. And who knows who it'll be this year? Well, 1-0. This one is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Got any candidates for that award?
Ooh, that's very tough.
It is, because there's only one for the entire league, and you can make a pretty good argument for one player on every team. The 1-1. This one grounded to third. Pounds has it, spins around, fires it to first in time. There's out number 1. There's now 5 in a row retired by Minty. Let's just narrow it down. If you're going to give the award to a Skeeter, who would your defensive player of the team be?
Woo. You know, the way that Cordero has come on with the caught stealing lately, I would put him in the conversation, but I think Brian Pounds probably takes it for me.
Yeah,
even though he has 16 errors this year, which is high.
All those chances, I think you kind of view him as a shortstop. They have more chances. So, of course, you're going to have a few more errors.
Yeah, exactly.
Could put Prince in that conversation. Got an absolute ton of range at second. Even Aaron's. No balls and 1 strike to count. You could make pretty good arguments also for Anthony Jansanti and Joe Benson. Spectacular in the outfield. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Skeeters leading 2-0, top of the third. Alfonso flew out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Came in at 305, good for 7th in the league. 4 home runs, 43 RBI. Swings through this one. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Giovanni is the nephew of former New York Met Elgardo Alfonso, who is currently the manager of Brooklyn Cyclones. This one hit out into right center field. That'll be a base hit, and nice job by Benson getting to that one quickly. Otherwise, it shoots up the gap. That'll be a 1-out single, 1 on and 1 out for Elmer Reyes.
Yeah, pretty nicely struck by Alfonso. Now is a 7-game hitting streak.
Reyes steps in. He had the first Ducks hit. Two runs on 3 hits for the Skeeters. No runs on 2 hits for Long Island, and that scoreboard operator needs to get a move on. 1 steps Reyes. Very straight up stance from the right side. Very little bend in the knees and feet fairly close together. Takes the first pitch for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Reyes. Mincy takes a look at Alfonso at first. Alfonso does have some speed. Alfonso has stolen 10 bases in 12 attempts. This one is low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Again, Skeeters leading 2-0 here in the top of the third. Mentioned the Skeeters closing in on 160 steals. The Ducks as a team have 108 and 109 home runs, so fairly close. Good blend of speed and power. The 1-1 here. This one a jam shot right side. That one will get into the crowd about 6 rows back, just past the Skeeters dugout down the right side. Reyes, originally from Leon, Nicaragua, signed as a free agent by the Braves in 2009 at the age of just 18 years old. Baseball America Prospect Handbook rated Elmer as the 29th best prospect in the Braves organization in the spring of 2015. Mincy from the stretch will kick and fire the 1-2 and popped up behind the plate. Cordero sheds the mask, but that will get over our heads. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scouting report on Reyes as a hitter. They say he does a fine job of putting the barrel on the bat. He has a surprise power for his size. Aggressive at the plate with a good approach. Reyes stands upright and sprays line drives from gap to gap. The ball does not jump off his bat, however, but he does have double power. Has a decent feel for the strike zone, however, does not walk much. Needs to show a lot more patience. The 28 he has this year, and now another pickoff by a Skeeters pitcher. You're going to have Alfonso in a rundown. He is finally tagged out. And that is out number 2.
Yeah, they had him leaning, and all of a sudden, the base runner Alfonso was stuck between first and second, and a good job by Mincy to kind of shield that move a little bit longer to the base runner Alfonso, and a good snap throw over to first.
Well, Mincy, who just joined the Skeeters, joining the pickoff parade, although technically will go down as a caught stealing. The Skeeters right-handers just have adapted that move. It'll officially go down to 1-3-4-1. This one just a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0 Skeeters here in the top of the 3rd. The 2-2 by Mincy, swung and hit towards short. Aarons has it. He'll fire it to first, and that'll do it. So an unconventional 1-2-3 with a ground out, a single, a caught stealing, and another ground out. Middle of the 3rd, Skeeters 2, Ducks nothing. Oh, make your plans to see the Skeeters in the final series of the year that runs through this Sunday. Also at each home game, fans are encouraged to bring school supplies for families affected by Hurricane Harvey, and to reward first responders, the Skeeters will give 2 free tickets for any game with a valid ID. We move to the bottom of the 3rd, Skeeters leading 2-0. They will try to add to that 2-0 lead by sending up 3, 4, and 5, Cole Gillespie, Travis Scott, and Kevin Aarons. Cole walked and scored his first time up, comes in at 297, 5 home runs and 25 RBIs. Gillespie, originally drafted by the Brewers in the 3rd round in 2006 out of Oregon State University, where he helped them win the national championship. First pitch to the Skeeters, right-handed hitting center fielder, is fouled straight back into the screen, and Gillespie disappointed. He didn't do more with that. He was all over that pitch. No balls and 1 strike to count.
A lot of the Skeeters hitters have been all over the first pitch from Matt Marsh. It just seems that Marsh is leaving him over the plate to try and get strike 1 a little too much against these Skeeters hitters. I mean, it's good that he's trying to get strike 1, but he is just leaving them on a platter at the moment.
This one is a little bit low, and as I mentioned, you wonder how far he can go. The most pitches he has thrown is 44. Right now,
37.
Yeah, so not good. The 1-1. This one high. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Actually 42 pitches now, so he's right there. The 2-1. This one swung and fouled back into the net. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Well, this could be his very last inning. No action in the Ducks bullpen. Unless he gets in trouble, Mize is going to try to stretch him out as far as he can go. You just wonder where that threshold will be.
Longest appearance has been 3 1/3 innings, and that was when he was coming in relief.
The 2-2. Swan in missed strike 3. That is the second straight strikeout, 4th overall for Marsh. 1 out, not on here for Travis Scott. A little update around the Atlantic League. Barnstormers extend their big lead. They're up 10-1 over York in the top of the 7th. So the Revolution do not look like they will clinch tonight. And the other game, Bridgeport now takes the lead. They're up 3-2 over Somerset. Skeeters are leading 2-0 here. So for Bridgeport, this is all going their way. Ducks' magic number is 2, but if Bridgeport wins and the Skeeters win, it will remain at 2. This one hit high and deep in the air to right field. Going back to the track, to the wall, and he got it all. Travis Scott into the wind. Hits a home run, his 12th of the year, and the Skeeters take a 3-0 lead here in the 3rd.
Love seeing that. It's not something that you see very often. Hitting a ball straight into that crosswind across the field. And Travis Scott getting a very nice hold of a pitch. Again, first pitch, just like he had in his RBI single 2 innings ago. And the Skeeters seem to have Matt Marsh figured out.
And I do not think he's going to last more than this inning, if he gets through it. I'll bring in Kevin Aarons. Aaron struck at his first time up. Marsh does have 4 Ks, but now down 3-0 here. First pitch here to Aarons. This one is hit into right. This one playable though. Lou Ford comes in near the line and lunges for it at the last second as that wind continues to blow the ball away from fielders. There is out number 2. So 2 outs, 1 in, 3-0 Skeeters. Brian Pounds, who has driven in one of the Skeeters' runs, will bat here. He doubled and drove in his 50th run of the season in his first at bat. Comes in at 214, 14 home runs, now 50 ribbies. First pitch here by Matt Marsh. This one is a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. 3 runs on 4 hits for Sugar Land. No runs on 2 hits for the Ducks. And it looks like something is wrong with Alex Berg's catching mitt. So they're going to fix it or probably just get a new one. Well, don't miss Charlie Robinson tomorrow here at Constellation Field. Matt Deaton tonight. More music by Charlie Robinson tomorrow. Stay late after the game for a live performance from local country artist Charlie Robinson as part of our post-game concert series sponsored by Bud Light. For tickets, call 281-240-HITS or visit the Skeeters online at sugarlandskeeters.com. Well, Berg has his equipment issue solved. No balls and 1 strike to count here to Brian Pounds. Marsh kicks and deals the 0-1. Swan and missed. No balls and 2 strikes here to Pounds. Wind still continues to whip up, blowing in from left center field, making the Travis Scott home run even that much more impressive. Scott set a career high last year with 16, 12 here today, or 12 here now with his home run today. 12 in 1 game would be a lot. This one is swung and missed as Pounds chased a high outside fastball. 5th strikeout for Marsh, and that will do it. But not before he surrenders another run on the Travis Scott home run. A third of the way through, Skeeters leading now 3-0 here over Long Island. Welcome back to Constellation Field. We move to the top of the fourth inning. It is always handy to have my broadcast partner, Andy Humphrey, to take you through the next few. Mr. Humphrey, it is all yours, sir.
Thanks, Ira. The Skeeters lead 3-0 over the Ducks as we enter the fourth. The Ducks send up 3, 4, and 5 in their order. Lou Ford to lead it off against the right-hander Patrick Mincy for the Skeeters. Righty on righty is Ford. Stands in with a closed stance from the right side. First pitch from Mincy, called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Ford last time up, skied out to left. The 0-1 pitch from Mincy as he tries to work with a quick tempo is outside, it's 1-1. Infield shading slightly to the left against the right-handed hitting Ford. Outfield playing straight up. 1-1. Ford pops it up on the infield, right side, prints back a few steps on the grass now, and the second baseman brings down out number 1. So a couple of soft fly ball outs for Lou Ford to start his day. And he is 0 for 2, and Mincy will now face the cleanup hitter Mark Kraus for the Long Island Ducks. Kraus walked his first time up. 21 homers, 83 RBIs for Mr. Kraus so far this year. Left-handed batter that Mincy now has to deal with as he deals a fastball high. It's 1-0 to Kraus. 83 RBIs are tied for second in the league. The 21 home runs, not in the top 5. He's currently in 6th place in that category as he takes outside, works to a 2-0 count. Correction, that's a strike, 1-1. Mincy winds, deals the 1-1 pitch, fouled back by Kraus to the left. It is now 1-2. Skeeters 3, Ducks nothing. Skeeters out hitting the Ducks 4-2. 1 error for the Ducks, no errors for the Skeeters. Ducks have left 2 men on base. The Skeeters have left 3. 1-2. Rivet deep to right field, but it hooks foul into the seats, and luckily for Mincy, as that one was just a laser off the bat of Mark Kraus, but he still has a 1-2 count. Ruben Gotay on deck for the Ducks. Pitch on the way from Mincy. Grounded foul right side into the Skeeters dugout as a couple guys shield the backs of their heads, hoping that that one doesn't hit him, and it lands just in front of the Skeeters dugout. Anthony Jansanti will come out and give it to a young fan in the front row. Still 1-2 on Kraus. Skeeters are 8-9 this year against the Ducks. And in the last series between these two, which was a 7-game series, as that one's fouled back to say 1-2. Skeeters lost the first 3 games against the Ducks in that series back in late June. And then they won the next 4 games, including a walk-off win in the series finale on June 29th. 1-2. That one stayed high. Mincy wanted that call, doesn't get it. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Skeeters are 4-3 against the Ducks at Constellation Field this season. Swing and a miss by Kraus on another 2-2 pitch from Mincy. He grabs strikeout number 3. Quickly has 2 outs in the 4th inning. Here's Ruben Gotay. He bounced back to the pitcher his first time up in the 1st inning. Mincy has retired 8 of the last 9 batters he's faced. Now looks into the signs against Ruben Gotay, again batting from the left side. He's a switch hitter as he takes a fastball away, and it's 1-0. Skeeters up 3-0 on the Ducks. In the top of the 4th as Mincy deals the 1-0. This one's a strike, outer corner. Mincy making his second start in a Skeeters uniform this year, made 21 starts in the American Association with the newly formed Cleburne Railroaders as he deals a breaking pitch low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitched pretty well for those Railroaders, worked to a 3.33 earned run average in 21 starts. That fastball looked pretty good. It was over the plate but missed low. It's 3-1. Mincy began his career in the independent leagues as a closer, and just last year made the transition to starter as the 3-1 is over the plate for a strike on a slider. It's full now on Ruben Gotay. He's been around a few American Association teams in his career, including Grand Prairie Airhogs, the Kansas City T-Bones, and also the Railroaders this year. That's a fly ball into right field, shallow. Benson is in and makes the catch for the final out. Mincy has faced the minimum since the second inning and has now retired 4 consecutive batters after that 1-2-3 fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Skeeters up 3-0. We go into the bottom of the fourth inning now as the Skeeters hold a 3-0 lead over the Long Island Ducks. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey with Nathan Werner back in the studio. Caleb Ramsey leads off this bottom of the fourth for the Skeeters in the 7-hole. Wilfredo Rodriguez, the DH, and Joe Benson, the right fielder, will follow him. Matt Marshall takes the mound for his 4th inning of work. Now has 45 pitches in tonight's game, allowing 3 runs so far on just 4 base hits. And the Skeeters have shown some early aggression against Matt Marsh early on in pitch counts. They're seeing the pitches they want to swing at pretty early. The first one to Caleb Ramsey from Marsh. As he shows bunt, it is in the air, foul into the screen, as he couldn't get good contact on the bunt there, trying to fool the third baseman Giovanni Alfonso, and he's behind 0-1. Ended the first inning with a ground out to shortstop, did Ramsey. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncer foul. Right side comes off the Skeeters dugout, as Albert Cordero will go to retrieve it. 0-2 on Ramsey. Marsh trying to go past the 4th inning for the first time this year with the Ducks, as he winds and deals the 0-2. And this one's poked out into shallow left center field. Racing on his Cleary. He won't get there as he fields it on a hop, and Ramsey is safe with a leadoff single in the 4th. So Ramsey on for Wilfredo Rodriguez, the DH, who was 0 for 1. Bounced out to shortstop his first time up. Rodriguez with a base hit tonight can give himself a 4-game hitting streak. He went 2 for 4 yesterday, providing a pretty big hit in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Skeeters. They had 2 runners on, first and second base, and Rodriguez singled to bring both runners home as Marsh moves to first to chase back Ramsey. Pretty big hit for Rodriguez, now giving him 26 RBIs this season for Sugarland. First pitch, fastball inside at the belt. And it's 1-0 to Wilfredo. And it is a .331 hitter. Has shown some pretty good consistency this year, but hasn't really played in as many games as he takes high and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. He's usually the second choice catcher to Albert Cordero on the Skeeters roster, but he has been used as a DH many, many times this year, which goes to show how much trust Gary Gaetti has in his hitting prowess. 2-0. Takes a slider just inside. Tough one to lay off of. But Wilfredo still looking for a strike as he works to a 3-0 count. 3-0 Skeeters. We'll wait to see if anybody starts throwing in the Long Island bullpen as Rodriguez takes a strike. It's 3-1. 52 pitches for Marsh, well over his high with the Ducks this year. Wouldn't know the first thing about how many pitches he's thrown in affiliated ball this season, as a fastball is on the lower third of the zone for a called strike 2. So Rodriguez now with a full count. Nobody out and a man on first for the Skeeters, up 3-0. Bottom of the 4th inning at Constellation Field. Payoff pitch with the runner on the move. This one is foul down the right side as Rodriguez hits one off of the inflatable in the fun zone down the right field side of the concourse. Still 3-2. Wind still blowing in from straightaway center field. Move to first base, and that's close, but Ramsey dives back safely. Lights have taken effect at Constellation Field with the sky completely dark now. It's getting darker a lot earlier these days. Sunset was just before 7:30 today. Another move to first. This time Ramsey steps back a little bit awkwardly, but the tag didn't come in time. Still 3-2 on Rodriguez. 5,391 fans at Constellation Field on a Friday night. They're here for the fireworks. Here to see their team for one last time as the 3-2 is hit foul again to the right. Ramsey was moving on the pitch again. And Wilfredo putting up a fight against Marsh. Still 3-2 on Rodriguez. Skeeters up 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Ramsey on first with nobody out. Joe Benson in the on-deck circle. Another 3-2. Rodriguez takes this low for ball 4. Great eye from Wilfredo Rodriguez on that slider from Matt Marsh. And it's runners at first and second with nobody out, and it's trouble time for Matt Marsh as Kevin Baez, the manager for the Long Island Ducks, gets up from the dugout and will talk to both his pitcher, his catcher, and the rest of his infield. There is nobody throwing yet in the Long Island bullpen, but that will soon change. Looks like there is now somebody getting up loose. Might be Jake Dunning. It's like it's Zach Treese getting up. Long-haired right-hander. The long-haired outfielder, Joe Benson, now stands into the box with the corners of the infield in on the grass, and the middle infield back, as they might expect Benson to bunt here. He does not. He swings away on the first pitch. It's popped up on the right side. Chasing it, go tie the first baseman. He doesn't have a play as it lands 3 rows deep into the seats. And that's strike 1 on Benson. Benson, his last time up, grounded out to third. 0 for 1 so far tonight. Ramsey on at second and Rodriguez on at first. See if Benson swings away again against Nat Marsh. Righty on righty. Here's the pitch, the 0-1. It's in the dirt and gets past the catcher, Berg. Going up to third is Ramsey. Up to second goes Rodriguez as the ball came off the left leg of Berg. And this will be an interesting decision as to whether this is a wild pitch or a pass ball. I think it could go either way. Either way, it is ball 1 to Joe Benson, and he has a 1-1 count. So waiting to see what that is, as now the infield comes in on the grass for the Ducks. Officially ruled a wild pitch to move runners up to second and third, and nobody out. The next pitch to Benson is low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Great opportunity for the Skeeters to make it more. They're up 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Out hitting the Ducks 5-2. Pitch on the way. Line foul, right side, over the roof, and it's 2-2 to Benson. Josh Prince at the top of the order is on deck. Skeeters wanting to give Patrick Mincy some more runs. They didn't give him any in his first start of the year, or at least his first start with the Skeeters this year, as Benson hits a high fly ball left side, but that will hook foul well out of this stadium into the parking lot. Still 2-2 on Benson. In Mincy's first start a week ago on Friday in game 2 of a doubleheader against the New Britain Bees, he got the loss, but only allowed 1 run on 5 hits. That only run was a homer by Connor Bierfeld. And Mincy, with that only blemish through 5 innings of work, picked up the loss in a 1-0 victory for the Bees. Marsh steps off the mound and will reset for the 2-2 delivery to Joe Benson. Benson now digs back into the box. Ramsey at third, Rodriguez at second. Nobody out in this bottom of the 4th. The 2-2. Benson swings and misses. It's in the dirt, and he'll get tagged out by Berg. So Benson is down on strikes in the 4th. And a big out for Marsh, his 6th punch out. Comes at a great time, gives him 1 out with runners at second and third. And now he has to face Josh Prince. Prince has walked and struck out today. In the 2nd inning after his walk, he stole second and advanced to third on a throwing error by the catcher. First pitch from Marsh, hit high in the air right side by Prince. This will get out of play, and it's strike 1. Another righty versus a righty, as the infield will stay crept into the grass with 1 out and runners at second and third. 0-1. Way in the dirt, and this gets past Berg again. Coming home to score is Ramsey. He'll touch home to make it 4-0 Skeeters. So a wild pitch put runners at second and third. We'll see how this one is ruled, probably similarly. But I'll hold my breath. Infield stays in on the grass with a runner at third and one out. And it's now a 1-1 count to Prince. He swings and misses over the top of a breaking ball. It's 1-2. This one is also ruled a wild pitch. So an earned run that Marsh allows in this fourth inning to allow Ramsey to score. And it's 4-0 Skeeters now as the 1-2 comes home. Prince takes it low and away, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Treese for the Long Island Ducks, still getting loose in the bullpen. 2-2 on the way. Check swing. The pitch was low and he went around. That's the second time that Prince has been called out by the first base umpire on a check swing appeal. And he strikes out for the second time tonight. That is strikeout number 7 for Matt Marsh. And this is officially his longest outing of the year with the Ducks, as he has now gotten past 3 2/3. Here's Albert Cordero, 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the first inning. He also stole a base, struck out his last time up. 68 pitches for Matt Marsh. Correction, 67. Here is number 68. It's low in the dirt, ball 1. Infield now backs up for the Ducks as Albert Cordero tries to add to his night with his fellow catcher Wilfredo Rodriguez leading off a third and 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Skeeters up 4-0. Switch hitter batting lefty against the right-hander Matt Marsh, who comes set. The 1-0 pitch takes it on the outer edge for a strike. It's 1-1. Lancaster still leading York 10-1. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning now, so it's looking like York will not clinch tonight as the 1-1 is low in the dirt, smothered by Berg. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bridgeport maintains their 3-2 lead over Somerset in the bottom of the 6th. So if all the scores hold, Bridgeport will come within 1 game of the Long Island Ducks in the Liberty Division race. 2-1, up high on the fastball, 3 balls and 1 strike to Cordero. And just for kicks and giggles, New Britain is leading Southern Maryland 3-1 in what is a meaningless game to the playoff picture, that game in the top of the 8th inning. Southern Maryland has already clinched their playoff spot in the first half. New Britain eliminated from playoff contention as Cordero takes a fastball high, ball 4. So he is on first with 2 away. It's now runners at the corners for the Skeeters. And Cole Gillespie coming to the plate. Question is Zach Treese ready in that Long Island bullpen? 72 pitches for the starter Matt Marsh, making just his 2nd start with the Ducks this year. Was with Double-A Trenton and Advanced A Tampa in the Yankees system earlier this year. Pitched in 15 games. And that's a balk as Marsh tried to make a pickoff move to first base and nobody was covering, and so he didn't make a throw, which means it's a balk. Third base umpire Brad Parker with the call. Kevin Baez racing out to see why that balk was made. That will allow Prince to score to make it 5-0 Skeeters, and Cordero moves to second. The umpires are going to talk this over. I think it's the right call because, you know, Marsh stepped off the mound and tried to move to first base, and he has to make a throw over to first, or else it's a balk. The only time that you can fake a throw to a bag is second base. And they're going to say there's no balk here. I don't know about that. And now Gary Gaetti wants an explanation. So they're going to put Cordero back at first and Rodriguez back at third. That seemed like the right call to me, but looks like the umpires thought otherwise. So Gillespie still at the dish as he now stands in. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. He's also scored a run. The first pitch he sees is hit foul straight back into the screen, 0-1. That was very odd because the first baseman, Gotay, was not holding on Cordero, and Marsh moved over to first base to try and make a throw, and then when he realized that nobody was covering the bag, he held on to the baseball. Very odd play right there as the 0-1 is hit foul into the air right side. That will sail over the roof of the stadium, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So it's 4-0 Skeeters still, as the run does not come home on the balk. Bottom of the 4th inning, runners at the corners for the Skeeters and 2 away. Oh-2 on Gillespie with Cordero going to second. Ground ball, third base. Long throw across the diamond from Alfonso to Gotay to retire Gillespie and end the inning. Skeeters tack on to their lead with a run on a hit. No errors and 2 men left on base. It is Skeeters 4, Ducks nothing as we head into the 5th. Fifth inning now at Constellation Field. Skeeters have a 4-0 lead over the Liberty Division leading Long Island Ducks. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Ducks in this top of the 5th. The DH, Angelo Sanko, will lead things off for Long Island. He is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Alex Berg, the catcher, on deck, and in the hole is Delta Cleary Jr., the center fielder. Left-handed batter is Sanko. Right-handed pitcher is Patrick Mincy as he deals home for Sugar Land, and it's inside for ball 1. That was pitch number 59 for Pat. Who has faced the minimum since the 2nd inning. That's low to make it 2 balls and no strikes. Has sat down 9 of the last 10 batters he's faced. Sanko swings and fouls this one back to make it 1-2. I was incorrect on the previous count. It was 1-1. Now it's 1-2. Mincy with the windup and the 1-2 pitch to Sanko, driven right up the middle into center field. That's a base hit as Sanko starts off the 5th with a leadoff single. Sonko would like to get out of the slump that he is currently in. Came into tonight's game just 3 for his last 23 at-bats. But 1 for 2 tonight. The catcher Alex Berg stands in, was a strikeout victim in the second. Mincy now working from the stretch again. Kicks and fires home. Bunt shown. It's down the third base line. Charging his pounds. Bare hands. Throw to first base not nearly in time. As Berg beats out the bunt single and puts runners at first and second base with nobody out for the Ducks, who are down 4-0 to the Skeeters.
That was a heck of a bunt for a catcher. You don't usually see a catcher do that because that's the kind of bunt you're trying to beat out for a base hit with speed. And catcher's generally not blessed with that. That was a terrific bunt by Bergen. Pounds barehanded, probably shouldn't have thrown it.
Yeah, luckily for him, he's deadly accurate. So now a dangerous spot for Patrick Mincy, who had been cruising through the last 3 innings. He now faces the left-handed hitting Delta Cleary Jr. First pitch, he shows bunt, pulls it back on a pitch low and in, and it's ball 1.
Giovanni Alfonso was caught stealing in the third, trying to get to second. So this is the first time the Ducks have had a runner at second base all night.
Oh, they had it in the first.
Correction, that's right. Elmer Reyes got to second.
Still quite a while since Mincy has had to work with multiple runners on as the 1-0 comes home. Shown bunt again. This one's outside. 2-0 on Cleary with Dan Lyons on deck. Mincy sat down Cleary on strikes in the second. Infield is in on the grass for the corners. The middle infield is back, as this one is a hard ground ball foul down the first base line. That would have fooled everyone, with Cleary showing bunt on the first 2 pitches. He hit that one pretty well, but it was in foul territory, and it's 2-1. 64 pitches for Mincy. He threw 90 pitches through 5 innings in his first start with the Skeeters. Gets the sign he wants from Cordero, comes set. 2-1 on the way. Bunted in the air, and it will bounce in foul ground. Cordero and Scott were both chasing, but neither had a shot at it, as Cleary now has a 2-2 count.
Does 2 bunts surprise you, or really even a bunt at all? I mean, you're down 4-0. You're looking to make your magic number at least 1 tonight, and you're down by 4 runs. I mean, in a best case scenario, the bunt's probably going to lead to 2. It just does not seem like the right move here.
Time called, as looked like there was a stray baseball on the right side. They get it out of play. Might be due to the fact that Cleary has been struggling lately, batting just .116 over his last 12 games. Has moved down in the lineup since we last saw him. Hits this one in the air left side. Pounds is underneath, right on the left field line, with both feet planted on that chalk, and he brings down the catch in what is ruled fair territory for the first out. So Mincy gets exactly what he needs, and out without the base runners moving. Dan Lyons now stands in. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out to third. Skeeters up 4-0, out hitting the Ducks 5-4. Ducks have 1 error. Skeeters no errors. Righty on righty is Mincy. Sets on the mound. And the first pitch to Lyons. Called strike, inner corner. Good first pitch from Mincy to get ahead 0-1. Lyons also struggling. 3 for his last 33 at-bats. 0-1 is inside, and it's 1-1. It's over 13 games for Lyons. came in 3 for his last 32, which is an 093 batting clip. Mincy into the high set. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground to the left side. Aarons flips to Prince for 1. On to first base. That's 2. So Mincy gets out of the inning, inducing a 6-4-3 double play. And the Skeeters keep the Ducks scoreless in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, a man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Constellation Field. Skeeters lead the Ducks 4-0. Skeeters 4, Ducks nothing as we enter the bottom of the 5th. Alongside Ira Liebman, I'm Andy Humphrey with Nathan Werner back in the studio. 75 pitches for Matt Marsh, and he retakes the mound for a 5th inning to the shock of both Ira and me.
After really struggling last inning, I didn't think he was going to get out of it, and just barely did. And now you're going to put him back in here, throwing almost twice as many pitches as he's thrown all season. I just think it's a really, really risky move. I know you want to save your bullpen and the rest of the series in case you need it, but this is a big game. You can't let it come down to the final 2 games. And if you lose tomorrow and Bridgeport wins, it comes down to 1 day.
Yeah, pretty risky move. The Ducks would be well served to try and clinch the division as fast as possible. Matt Marsh has dealt only 2 pitches in 2 at-bats to Travis Scott and 3 pitches in 3 at-bats as Sky lines one into left center field for a base hit. Long turnaround first base, but he'll stay there. He is 3 for 3. He's only seen 3 pitches. He's hit all 3 of them. 2 singles, a home run, and 2 total RBIs for Scott already.
I gotta think that Marsh is on a very short lease here. He is out of gas. I mean, even that first batter last inning, Alfredo Rodriguez, he stepped off the mound twice and took a big, huge breath. I mean, he didn't have enough for last inning. Letting him get through 3 outs here, he already has a leadoff single.
Kevin Aarons now stands in. He's 0 for 2, struck out his first time up and flied out to right in the 3rd. He takes a pitch inside for ball 1. At the moment, I don't see anybody throwing in the Long Island bullpen. I don't know if that means someone is already hot,
I mean, Trace was throwing for a while. I gotta think he's ready.
Appears to be stretching there as the 0-1 is bounced foul, the 1-0 I should say. That gets into the seats on the left side, and it's 1-1 to Aarons. Skeeters up 4-0 with a runner at first and nobody out.
He's a pitch away from allowing this to be 6-0.
Righty on righty. Marsh peers behind his shoulder and deals home. Slider finds the outer corner. That's called strike 1 and 2. Brian Pounds on deck for the Skeeters.
By the way, in the other game, Bluefish still hanging on. They're up 3-2 over the Patriots, now in the bottom of the 7th. And the Barnstormers, the final, they beat York, so no joy in Yorkville today.
Woo, 11-1. Ahrens hits one high into left center field. Kraus ranges over near the warning track to make the grab. Good play by Kraus to track that one down. That is out number 1.
Marsh got away with one there. Ahrens had to reach down a little bit for that one. Otherwise, that might be 6-0 right there. He leaves one up to any batter here. It's going to go a long way.
Brian Pound certainly has that capability of sending one out in this stadium. He comes in already with an RBI double to his name tonight. He's 1 for 2. Scott with a 2.5-step lead off of first as Pound swings at the first pitch and fouls it to the right. And that's out of play, strike 1. Skeeters out hitting the Ducks 6-4, outscoring them 4-0. Ducks with 1 error, Skeeters with no errors. Skeeters have stranded 5 men on base. The Ducks have left 3. 0-1, up high. Pounds works to a 1-1 count with Caleb Ramsey in the on-deck circle for the Skeeters. Skeeters with a win can improve their home record to 34-32 as Pounds hits one deep in the air center field, but playable for Cleary as it hangs up and gets pushed back by the wind. Cleary makes the catch in left center for the second out.
Marsh really playing with fire here. That one's hit the deepest part of the ballpark. So an easy play for Delta Cleary Jr. in center. Got away with the one in Ahrens, and he's going to have one too many flyouts. Ramsey's the guy who could do it. There's Scott hit one out to right, even with that wind.
Ramsey is 1 for 2. In the 4th inning, he singled, got to second base on a walk by Rodriguez as he chops one to the right side. Up with it is the second baseman Reyes, who throws out Ramsey, who after getting to second in the 4th inning came home on 2 wild pitches by Matt Marsh. But Marsh gets out of this inning unscathed. No runs, a hit, a man left through 5 innings of play. The Ducks are down to the Skeeters 4-0. Into the 6th inning we go in Sugar Land as the Skeeters are up on the Ducks 4-0 alongside Ira Liebman and Mandy Humphrey. Patrick Mincy working now into the 6th inning for the Skeeters. 71 pitches for the right-hander, now faces the top of the order. Giovanni Alfonso, Elmer Reyes, and Lou Ford for the Ducks. Righty on righty as Mincy kicks home. First pitch is a slider away. 1 ball and no strikes to Giovanni Alfonso. Grabbed a single in the 3rd inning. Now has a 7-game hitting streak. 1-0 pitch. it to the right side, the other way. Prince Fields on a hop and spins around to throw to first base easily for the first out of the inning. Elmer Reyes now the batter. He's 1 for 2. Single back in the first. Ground out to shortstop in the third. Patrick Mincy, the converted relief pitcher, will deal home, and it is low and away for a ball. Spent most of the early part of his career coming out of the bullpen exclusively, but just last year made the transition from reliever to starter as he misses high to make it 2 balls and no strikes. South Carolina native, played at Spartanburg Methodist College in 2009. Hit right back up the middle, past the glove of Mincy, but Prince is there to back him up at second, and he throws to first base. To complete the out on Reyes, a couple of ground outs to Prince at second for the first 2 outs of the 6th. Mincy went 10-8 earlier this year in the American Association with the Cleburne Railroaders, the brand new team in the Independent American Association. 21 starts. He struck out 81 to 21 walks as he deals one inside to Lou Ford. It's ball 1.
You spent a little time in Grand Prairie. He was there in 2013. Was that before your time there?
That was before my time there. I was there in 2014, just working for that team. It's called strike. It's 1-1, and I believe Mincy in 2014 was with both Kansas City to start the year, and then in the middle of the year got traded to Wichita.
That is correct, sir.
Was mostly a closer / setup man during that time, as that's fouled back by Lou Ford to make it 1-2. Skeeters up 4-0 with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 6th.
In 2013, he set well, at the time it was his career high, 24 saves, and that following year in 2014 did not act as the closer, but then when he went back, or went to the Bridgeport Bluefish for the first time, became the closer.
Fisted into foul ground on the left side. Good play by Brian Pounds to go halfway into left field in foul territory to make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 6th for Patrick Mincy. Through 5.5 innings of play, the Skeeters still lead the Ducks 4-0.
Oh, the Ducks go to the bullpen here. It is, as suspected, number 9, Zach Trees, 6'3", 195, the right-hander from Hot Springs, Arkansas. He's only pitched an independent ball. Joined the Ducks last year right around this time, and he really had a terrific season in 2016 with the River City Rascals. 3-1, a 186 ERA, 41 appearances. He had 22 saves, and even more impressive, 48 in the third. He struck out 75 while walking just 15. This season, very good year, not quite as good, but 6-2, a 392 ERA. This is his 53rd appearance. He has one start in 59 2/3. He has struck out 71, walked 28, and allowed 59 hits. He was also an all-star last year with the Rascals. Last 3 appearances have not been good for him. He has allowed runs in 2 of those 3, including last time out his lone start. 5 1/3. He took the loss. 2 runs, 5 hits, no walks, 6 Ks in a 2-1 York victory.
He enters into a 4-0 game in the bottom of the 6th. Skeeters trying to add to their lead with the 8-9 hitters due up in this bottom of the 6th against Treese, who deals a first pitch strike to Wilfredo Rodriguez to get ahead 0-1. Rodriguez is 0 for 1. A ground out to shortstop and a walk his last time up. Righty on righty as Treese kicks and fires. This slider missed inside. Spinning out of the way is Wilfredo on a high and tight pitch. It's 1-1.
And Marsh, by the way, goes 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts.
84 pitches for Marsh on the night. 1-1. Another slider, and this one misses inside again. Rodriguez fell to the ground to get out of the way of that one. It's 2-1. Treese went undrafted and played his college ball at Ouachita Baptist University. Without looking at your notes, Ira, where is Ouachita Baptist University? What state? Missed outside, 3-1.
I have no idea, but it sounds like it's in Guam.
Nope.
Is it Arkansas where he's from?
It is.
My only
that was
other
a little
guess.
too easy.
That was a speculation guess.
3-1 on the way. This one's a strike over the plate, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Wilfredo Rodriguez, the DH. Joe Benson on deck. He's the right fielder for the Skeeters. And then Josh Prince due up after him. Up 4-0 on the Long Island Ducks are your Skeeters. Out hitting the Ducks 6-4. 3-2. Hit in the air right side, down the line. Go tie chasing the first baseman into foul ground and leaps into the stands. And he came up with a catch. He got the leather on it right before he hit the wall. And a very nice play by Gotai, an over-the-shoulder catch to retire Rodriguez with first out.
Treese didn't quite pitch in Guam, but last winter he did play winter ball in Australia. The Brisbane Bandits went 1-2 with a 5.60 ERA.
Here's Joe Benson with bases empty and 1 out. Benson 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a strikeout tonight. The battle of the long-haired men starts out with a slider over the plate for a strike, and Benson falls behind 0-1.
It could be a battle for the best hair in the Atlantic League this season.
And they both have curls.
Maybe they have the same hairdresser.
Benson with more brown hair, Treese with a little more orange hair as Benson swings and misses at a slider. It's 0-2.
What could be of orange hair you considered a redhead?
I don't know. Red, orange, whatever.
I want them to be orange heads. It's more accurate, isn't it?
Don't know if it's pigmentally accurate, as this is a tough ground ball on the left side, and Benson gets thrown out by the shortstop, Dan Lyons. A very nice play, and Gotai is limping a little bit after the play. I don't know if he got stepped on by Benson on that. He's tying his shoe at the moment. May have gotten a little bit of contact from Benson's foot as he raced past him at first base, but it is out number 2 on Benson on the 6-3 putout.
Is pigmentally a word?
I'm making it one.
Is
this what that's what this is about, right?
Humphreys. Luckily I speak it.
It's still a work in progress as Josh Prince takes another slider for a strike. It's 0-1 to Prince.
Treese has some slider. My goodness, that has some break on it.
Got a lot of movement, and it really did fool Benson in his last at-bat.
It looks like it's going to hit you, and it breaks right over the heart of the plate.
That's what Rodriguez had to deal with 2 batters ago. as Prince swings over the top of this breaking ball, and he falls behind 0-2.
That started high and inside and finished low and away.
Yeah, Prince all of a sudden had to pull the trigger at the last moment. Skeeters up 4-0. Bottom of the 6th. Base is empty, 2 down. 0-2 pitch from Treese. This slider is in the dirt. See if we can get an update from Bridgeport. Lancaster already victorious over the York Revolution tonight, 11-1, so they close the gap a little bit more. They're now 2 games behind the Revolution as Prince takes low and away. It's 2-2.
Bridgeport needs 3 more outs defensively.
2-2. Swing and a miss as Prince goes down on strikes and slams the helmet down frustrated. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Treese. Into the 7th we go. The Skeeters maintain their 4-0 lead over the Ducks.
Really going to the bullpen? It's a 6 shutout innings.
80 pitches.
Wow. That's crazy. This is not the time to get people to work. I mean, it's been a while, I guess.
Seventh inning now at Constellation Field. The Skeeters will head to the bullpen for the rest of the way, and the southpaw, Scott Main, emerges first from the Skeeters bullpen. Main this year, 1-1 record of 3.31 earned run average in 37 games, 32 2/3 innings pitched, 27 hits, 14 runs, 14 walks, 34 strikeouts. League hitting .221 against Scott Main, who comes on for the starter Patrick Mincy. Another good start from Pat, as he does not allow a run on 4 hits through 6 innings of work, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And in 2 starts with the Skeeters, he has an ERA of .82. Pretty darn good from the right-hander this year with Sugarland. And now to take it the rest of the way, here's the voice of the Skeeters, Ira Liebman.
Thanks, Andy, and you're right. Mincy, 11 innings, just 1 earned run with the Skeeters. Now, Scott Main will take over. He is on for one reason. 2 of the first 3 hitters here lefty, including the guy he is facing right here, Mark Krause. Then the switch hitting Ruben Gotay and the left-hander hitting Angelo Sanko. First pitch here is low from Main. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Krause walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Skeeters with a 4-0 lead here in the top of the 7th. The 1-0. This one a strike. At the top of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Well, Mincy goes 6 innings, allows just 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. 6 shutout innings of 4 hit balls for Mincy. Nice job. Big breaking curveball there from Maine. From the chest to the knees, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters 4 runs on 6 hits. The Ducks no runs on 4. Long Island's committed 1 error. The Skeeters have none. Main from the stretch. They'll set up away, and the 1-2. Swan and fouled off left side. That'll make the seats 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Skeeters are last in the league in hitting at 259. The Ducks are 6th at 263, but the Skeeters atop on all this great pitching they've gotten. 385 leads the Atlantic League as a team ERA. The Ducks are 5th in the league at 409. Team defense, these teams are 3rd and 4th. Skeeters 3rd, the Ducks 4th. This one is sky to center. Coming in is Gillespie, and Cole will bring it down for out number 1. There's now 6 straight batters retired by Skeeters pitching. And Mincy left on a high note, retiring the last 5 he faced. 4-0 the Skeeters leading here as the Ducks switch hitting first baseman Ruben Gotay will step in. Former big leaguer grounded back to the pitcher and flew out to right last time up. He is 0-for-1 and will turn around and bat here from the right side against the southpaw Maine. Open stance from the right side of the box as well. First pitch here by Maine, swung and fouled over our heads. No balls and 1 strike to count. Ty really broke on the scene early in his career. In his first season as a pro at Burlington in the Midwest League, he hit 285 with 9 home runs and 83 RBIs. The 0-1 coming here from the Skeeters southpaw. This one is swung and hit through the left side for a base hit. That'll end the string of 6 straight retired by Skeeters pitching. 1 on and 1 here for the left-handed hitting DH Angelo Sanko. Sanko has flat out to right, singled last time up. He is 1 for 2. He'll step in with his team trailing 4-0 here to the Skeeters. Another lefty-lefty matchup here for Maine. The main reason he is in this game. First pitch here to Sanko. This one is fouled off to the left side. No balls and 1 strike here to Angelo. Wind swirling again. Now, not quite as hard. In from left center. Could be an advantage for Sanko. The 0-1. Big bender in there for a strike. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes here on Angelo Sanko. This is Sanko's first season with the Ducks. Spent the last 3 years for the St. Paul Saints in the American Association, where he hit 49 home runs in those 3 combined seasons. The 0-2 hit to the left side, backhanded by Aarons, but dropped. Got a piece of leather on it, but it trickles out into left center. And for a second, he might turn that into a DP. Be a base hit, first and second with 1 away for Alex Berg.
A real tough play for Aarons there. He probably would have gotten the force at second base, but that would have been a really tough turn over to first for the double play. Aarons is a pretty good fielder, but that is pretty tough, and it is a base hit.
So in steps Berg. Berg had a bunt single last time up, but was erased on a double play. Also struck out, so he's 1 for 2. A big chance here for the Ducks. They have not gotten a runner to third base all evening. They're down 4-0 here to the Skeeters in the top of the 7th. First pitch to the right-hand hitting catcher in the dirt. Nice block by Cordero. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Berg grew up playing soccer, basketball, golf, and baseball. Says he knows baseball was his sport. At the time he was 14 to 15 years old, was born in Seattle and went to Mount Rainier High School. Was a Mariners fan growing up. I'm surprised Ken Griffey Jr. was his favorite. This one hit into center field. That is going to be caught by Skeeters center fielder Cole Gillespie. A feet-first sliding catch to his right coming into left center field. There's 1 away. Otherwise, the bases are loaded with 1 out.
And he saw it right away. That was great vision from Cole Gillespie, knowing exactly where that one was going to land, and made a very nice and smooth slide to catch that one in center. Takes away a base hit from Berg.
Now 2 down with 2 on. Skeeters leading 4-0 as the switch hitting Delta Cleary Jr. steps in, and he will turn around and bat from the right side against Skeeters lefty Scott Maine. First pitch here to Cleary Jr. This one high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count. As a switch hitter, he really continues to work on left-handed hitting swings and strengthen. Often gets overpowered by right-handed pitchers, so maybe a little advantage here for Cleary Jr. against the southpaw. This one a strike at the knees, 1-1. Says that he has good hand-eye coordination. Cleary gets caught sometimes on his front foot, leaving him off balance at the plate. The 1-1. This one a high chopper. This one will be caught by Kevin Aaron. Don't know he's going to have a play, but he will keep the run from scoring as he fields it behind second base. So despite not getting to it, range by Aarons is very impressive, and he keeps the runner from scoring. But the bases are loaded now with 2 outs, and the tying run comes to the plate in Dan Lyons, and this is the first time they've had a runner at third. And here comes Gary Guidy, and they may go to the bullpen here. It looks like he's going to take the ball here from Maine. Get a righty-righty matchup for Dan Lyons. So we will talk out. We'll tell you who the new Skeeters hurler is when we come back. Biggest threat of the game for the Ducks here in the top of the 7th. Skeeters are leading 4-0, but the Ducks have the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Julio DePaula is out of the bullpen to try and get the Skeeters out of this bases loaded jam in the top of the 7th. Skeeters are up 4-0. DePaula is 0-1 this year with a 3.56 ERA in 48 games. He has 2 saves and 3 opportunities with the Skeeters this year. 48 innings pitched, 47 hits, 22 runs, 22 walks, 42 strikeouts. Lee getting 267 against DePaula. Who relieves Scott Main. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 base hits. All 3 of those runners are on base. So if any of those runners come home, they will be charged to Scott Main, who so far has not allowed any runs, but that could change.
Well, Paul at one point had 19 consecutive scoreless appearances. He has 3 straight here. And he has had 22 of 23, the last 23 scoreless. Bases loaded, 2 down here as Dan Lyons steps in. Lyons might not always have the best numbers, but he is a very clutch hitter. This one high and inside, 1-0. Came in 252, 7 home runs, 36 RBIs. He has 2 at-bats tonight. He's committed 3 outs. He has grounded out the 3rd and hit into a double play. By the way, in the game the Ducks are keeping an eye on, Bridgeport has blown their lead. It is now 3-3 in the 9th. This one a strike at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Not only are they keeping an eye on this game, but they need to pay closer attention to their own. Beat the Skeeters last night in extra innings. They could find themselves in extra innings 2 nights in a row. The 1-1. Swan, a broken bat. Slow roller to short. Aaron's is going to have to hurry. Double clutch as a throw to first. Not in time. And it's a 4-1 game. An extra clutch by Aaron's was the difference between Lyons beating it out.
Yeah, he had a little trouble getting it out of the glove, and that extra split second allowed Lions to beat out the infield single. Tough play for Ahrens on that soft ground ball with the bat broken. Would have been tough either way, but Ahrens with a missed opportunity.
Playoff picture could change in a hurry here. The Ducks come back and beat the Skeeters here. One swing of the bat gives them the lead here, and Bridgeport already blew their lead. If that game is untied by Somerset, season would be over for Bridgeport, and the Ducks would be champs. And there's a base hit up the middle. This might score two. Sanko will score. Here comes a throw to the plate. Delta Cleary Jr. will get in there, and just like that, it's a one-run game, 4-3.
Really nice job by Alfonso to jump out on the first pitch, and that was placed perfectly into center field, far enough away to the center fielder Gillespie where he didn't really have enough time to make a good throw at home plate. Now all of a sudden the Skeeters are really trying to get out of this inning.
Mincy had 6 shutout innings, and 2 pitchers here have allowed 3 to make it a 4-3 game here. The tying run down at second in Lions, and that little slow roll at a short could be the difference in this game. Elmer Reyes steps in. First pitch here by DePaula Reyes is a strike on the outside corner. Reyes has singled, grounded at the short, and last time up grounded at the second. He's 1 for 3. Now has 140 hits on the season. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Skeeters, 3 on 9 for the Ducks. And I always say if you're out hitting the other team by 3, it's usually a matter of time. And right on cue, this one hit into left center field. They're going to wave around Alfonso. He's going to score. Going to third. Excuse me, Lions scores. Going to third is Alfonso, and now a hit away from taking the lead here.
I mean, this has all gotten away from the Skeeters in a matter of minutes. A few minutes, just 5 minutes ago, they were sitting pretty. And then all of a sudden the bases were loaded and they had to bring in a new pitcher. And now DePaula has allowed a run.
It doesn't get any easier for DePaula as the Ducks have batted around, and Lou Ford will come to the plate. The ageless 41-year-old Ford is 0 for 3. He has flied out, popped out, and fouled out. But man, if there's a guy you do not want to face, it's Ford with the go-ahead run down at third. This one a fastball strike on the inside corner. 0-1 here to Ford. Lou came in 273, 9 home runs, and 31 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup here for DePaula. They'll set up away in the 0-1. Swung and missed, and Ford, a rare chase of pitch there, down 0-2. Well, in 1999, he helped Dallas Baptist win the NAIA World Series. Mentioned earlier, originally went to Texas A&M, went to Seminole State College before going to Dallas Baptist. This one just misses a little low and in, 1-2. Eventually drafted in the 12th round by the Red Sox out of Dallas Baptist. And Lou, in his younger days, had speed. He stole 52 bases in his first full season in Augusta in the Sally League. They set up outside. The 1-2, DePaula will throw to first. Diving back in head first is Elmer Reyes. Ford, after spending 5 years in the bigs from 2003 to 2007 with the Twins on July 12th, after starting the year with the Ducks, played in his first big league game in 5 years when the Orioles signed him, put him to AAA, brought him up late in September, 2 weeks short of his 36th birthday, and then was in the playoffs in the ALDS as the Orioles faced the Yankees. Ford hasn't been in the big leagues since. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This one fouled at the plate. 4 runs in here in the top of the 7th. It is a 4-4 game. So a couple of risky moves by the managers. Kevin Baez, the Duck skipper, leaves his pitcher in, what me and Andy thought was a little too long. And he got through 5, which paid off, and then Gary Gaddy pulled Patrick Mincy a little bit early after 6 shutout innings, and now he has lost the lead. Gambles pay off, some don't. The 2-2 here by DePaula. He kicks and fires, and this one swung on, popped up. Will this stay in play? Yes. Travis Scott in foul territory, battling that win. Will squeeze it for the final out, but not before the Ducks score 4 times and have tied this game at 4. 7th inning stretch time. Get your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do care if you never come back. We have a brand new ball game. Tomorrow, September 16th, at the ballpark, presented by Windstream, the Skeeters will be having a special superhero jersey auction, and the first 300 fans will receive a Swats and mask courtesy of Bedrock Comics. Don't forget to stay after the game for a concert from Charlie Robinson, sponsored by Bud Light. To get tickets, call 240-HITS or log on to SugarlandSkeeters.com. Well, the Skeeters allowed 4 runs in the top half of this inning. We're tied at 4-4. Here in the bottom half of the 7th, it'll be 2-3 and 4. Albert Cordero, Cole Gillespie, and Travis Scott. The switch inning, Cordero batting from the left side, takes the first pitch low and away for a ball, 1-0. Cordero has singled, stolen a base, and scored. He has also struck out and walked. the 1-0. This one a chopper towards second, backhanded drop by Reyes, but he has time, and he'll throw out Cordero for 3, and there's one down. With 1 out and none on, the Skeeters center fielder Cole Gillespie will step in. He's walked and scored as well. He's also struck out and grounded out. He is 0 for 2. A 1 out, none on for Gillespie. 4-4 your score here at the bottom of the 7th. On the other game we're keeping an eye on, it is bad news for the Ducks as the Bridgeport pull out a win 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th, so they walk it off. So the Ducks have to come back here, or the next 2 days are going to be excruciatingly nerve-wracking. Let's see if the Skeeters can keep that from happening. 1 on and 1 out here as Gillespie single. Travis Scott, who's having a great night, as Andy mentioned. 3 pitches, 3 hits, not quite a la Reggie Jackson, 3 home runs on 3 pitches, but he has a home run and 2 singles, and here comes Kevin Baez. That may be all for trees here. There is action, a southpaw warming up in the Ducks bullpen. Well, he was warming up in the pond. Baez has not made a move yet. Let's see if he takes the ball from Treese. Nope, not yet. Meeting of the minds here on the mound. Perhaps Baez stalling for his pitcher in the bullpen to warm up. Pretty good crowd on hand here tonight on a Friday night, the final fireworks night of the year. And it'll be double the fun tonight. It'll be the biggest fireworks show of the year. 5,391 fans here at Constellation Field. Baez has still not made a move, so the home plate umpire Joe Harris comes out here to say, hey, are you going to move or not? And now he makes the move.
It'll actually be the former Skeeter, Dustin Richardson, coming in.
D. Rich will come in. We will go out. We'll tell you about Mr. Richardson. We'll return here in a moment. Tied at 4. Skeeters have the go-ahead run down at first with 1 away. Yeah. Then, yeah. And Reyes with the 4th. Thank you. Let's go over highlights after this inning.
In comes the southpaw and former Skeeter Dustin Richardson into this bottom of the 7th inning with the game tied at 4. Richardson now pitching in his 5th game with the Ducks this year. In his first 4 games, he's allowed a run on 2 hits in 3 2/3 innings of work, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. With the Skeeters this year, Richardson worked to a 1-4 record and a 5.02 ERA in 48 games, including 1 start. He had 4 saves this year as well, 43 innings with the Skeeters, 34 hits, 29 walks, and 62 strikeouts.
Well, D. Rich, a little back and forth. He originally began his Atlantic League career here at the Skeeters in the inaugural season in 2012 and returned in 2013. But then last year he was with the Ducks, joined the Skeeters this season, and now before the season is over, he is back with the Ducks. There's a reason he is in. Kevin Baez has had enough of Travis Scott. He is 3 for 3. 2 singles, a home run, 2 RBIs. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup here. Skeeters have the go-ahead run down at first with 1 away, tied at 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch here by Richardson. This one outside. Richardson features a fastball and a slider. Only 2 pitches, but both of them very good. Former big leaguer of the Red Sox, spent time in the big leagues, 2009 and 2010. The wind's still blowing in a little from left center, but Scott's already beaten that wind once. The 1-0, big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, tied at 4 apiece here in the bottom of the 7th. Richards went to Cowley College, junior college, before transferring here in Texas. Spent 2 seasons at Texas State. That's when he got drafted by the Red Sox. The 1-1 from D-Rich. This one low and away. Slider misses, and now it is kicked by Berg. And Berg having all kinds of problems trying to get a handle on that one. He gets a laugh about it. It was like the ball had grease on it. 2 balls and 1 strike to count here. Gillespie with decent speed. Would you hit and run here?
Sure, why not?
And he says yes, as do I. Must be a little above average lead at first. Doesn't appear to be leaning, and he does not go. And this one a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Richardson, a former 5th round pick of the Red Sox in 2006 for the 33-year-old Newton, Kansas native. Now makes his home in Canada. 2-2 coming from the southpaw. They set up outside again here on Scott. Richardson looks at first, fires home. There goes Gillespie. This one low. The throw down to second is not in time. Well, that is the 3rd stolen base of the night for the Skeeters, and a significant one. That now ties the team record for stolen bases. That is steal number 160. So the next steal by the Skeeters will set a new team record. And for Cole on the season, that is stolen base number 12. He is 12 of 13. So now Gillespie in scoring position. Represents the go-ahead run here with 1 out. Pitch was a ball, so a full count here on Scott. The 3-2. This one low and in, ball 4. Runners on first and second now. This is the 5th walk of the night for Ducks pitching. So 2 on, 1 down. Now to bring in Kevin Aarons. Aarons 0 for 3. He has struck out, flied out to right, lined out to left last time up. Just reached a little bit low and away for a ball on the tiring Marsh. Almost got enough of it. So in steps Aarons, 280, 12 home runs. He is tied for 9th in the league with 68 RBIs, and he is the double king with 35, good for 2nd in the league. A right-handed Aarons against his former teammate, southpaw Dustin Richardson. First pitch misses low and away to the right-handed hitting Aarons. 1 ball and no strikes. I know the Bridgeport Bluefish broadcaster, the voice of the Bluefish, probably listening in on this one, as well as some Bluefish fans, so a big welcome into them. This one is swung and fouled off to the right side. Should make the seats, and does, as first baseman Ruben Gotay runs out of room. That one just past the Skeeters dugout on the right side. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on first and second in a 4-4 game here in the bottom of the 7th. If the Skeeters win this game, the magic number will remain at 2 for the Ducks with just 2 games remaining in the season. Now, the Ducks have not announced their Game 3 starter because, of course, it matters if they're in it or if they've clinched already. It will be John Brownell most likely if they need him. This one slapped down the right side, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Aarons. If the Ducks clinch, then Brownell will not go in the final game of the season. They will have him ready for game 1 of the playoffs. It'd be nice for it to come down to that final day. It's always fun. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Aarons. He digs back in, open stance from the right side against former Skeeter Dustin Richardson. And Dustin steps off here. 4 runs on 10 hits for the Ducks, 4 runs on 7 for the Skeeters. Big gap in left center field. Delta Cleary Jr. shading towards right. This one hit high in the air to left center field, playable. And Gillespie, shockingly, not go back to second to tag up, so he will stay at second. Now 2 on and 2 out. Surprised he didn't go back to tag there. We'll bring in Brian Pounds, who already has an RBI in this one with a double in his first at bat. He has also struck out and flied out to center since, so he is 1 for 3 officially. Be a big turning point in this game, and I just get the feeling that the Ducks are running out of bullets here. They have a taxed bullpen. So in steps Pounds, the former U of H product, with a chance to give his team a lead here. And again, with a right-handed hitter up, Delta Cleary Jr. over in right center. The center fielder playing a little unusual for right-handers. There's a big gap in left center, boy. That would score 2 easily. Now Pounds has had enough of his former teammate. Steps out of the box. Pounds still awaiting pitch number 1 here. Richardson got to the big leagues at just 25 years old in September 28th of 2009. This one is fouled left side. Gary Gaetti all over that one. 4-time Gold Glove winner. No balls and 1 strike to count here on on Pounds. Gillespie at second, Scott at first. 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Crowd coming alive here at Constellation Field. Richardson 11 pitches, 6 for strikes, 5 for balls. The 0-1 to Pounds. Low it in near the feet, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, number 15 has 14 home runs. A shot here would give him the same amount of home runs as he wears on his back. Richardson now 6 strikes, 6 balls. Not the ratio you want, 1-1. They set up outside. This one high and outside, 2-1 to Pounds. Would be an interesting hit and run count, although I don't think I would do it here. The runner's on first and second now. Pounds does strike out a bit. Pounds is ready, as is Richardson, as he looks in for the side from his catcher, Alex Berg. They'll set up inside, the 2-1. This one low, 3-1. Dangerous territory for Richardson. He is now more balls than strikes, 6-7. A good hitter's count for Pounds at 3-1. And if he misses 3-2 with 2 outs, the runners would get a head start. On deck, the second of the Cougar connection, Caleb Ramsey. The 3-1 by Richardson. Swung and fouled into the net. That'll run the count full 3-2. So now both runners will be moving. Gillespie at second and Scott on at first, as Bluefish fans crawl closer to the edge of their seat. Well, those old commercials with the race cars and the drag races. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. That's what it is here if you're a fan of Bridgeport. Richardson from the stretch. There go the runners. The payoff pitch is strike 3 on Pounds. A little bit of a delayed call by Joe Harris. The Skeeters leave runners on first and second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We are through 7 innings of play. It is the Skeeters 4 and the Ducks 4.
In comes another pitcher for the Sugar Land Skeeters in the 8th inning in a tie ball game. Andrew Johnston is the man on the mound. He has a 2-4 record and an ERA of 4.60, making appearance number 51 on the season. 45 innings pitched, 56 hits, 25 runs, 8 walks, 27 strikeouts. Atlantic League hitting .309 against Johnston, who is the 4th pitcher of the night. Scott Main and Julio DePaula combined in the 7th to give up 4 runs on 6 hits between them. 3 runs for Maine and 1 for DePaula. Neither got a walk or a strikeout in the 7th, and now Johnston takes over in the 8th.
Well, AJ will try to keep this a 4-4 game. Well, looking at that playoff picture a little further, despite what happens in this game, Bridgeport's already won. So in a worst case scenario, if the Ducks win and their magic number is reduced to 1, Bridgeport is still alive, and if the scenario comes down to the final day and after Sunday, these two teams are tied, meaning the Ducks and the Bluefish win the division because they win the tiebreaker. All is not lost in Bridgeport town. No balls and 1 strike here to Kraus, the cleanup hitter. It'll be Kraus, Gotai, and Sanko. The left-handed power hitter has walked, struck out, and flied out. Kraus 0 for 2. This one slash foul down the left side. No balls and 2 strikes to count here. Well, AJ last year was the pitcher of the year for the Skeeters. Skeeters will announce their pitcher of the year tomorrow here before the game. For today's game, Albert Cordero was named the Community Man of the Year award. And certainly was deserving. The 0-2 chop foul at the plate. Count remains 0-2. AJ last year, that pitcher of the year award for the Skeeters, 5-2, a 178 ERA, 61 games, all in relief. Helped the Skeeters win their championship last year. Former 9th round pick in 2005 out of the University of Missouri. Also drafted in the 26th round in 2003 out of high school before that. The 0-2. This one high and tight, 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. AJ, a 2-time All-Star in 2014 and last season. Has 126 career saves. Had a career high 31 in 2009. A 1-2, low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kraus 282, 21 home runs, 83 RBIs. The home runs and RBIs both amongst the top 5. He is the dark horse for the player of the year. I think he's running 3rd in that race. This one is blooped into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Leadoff single after AJ was ahead 0-2. A 1 on and none out for Ruben Gotai. The switch hitter may be called on to bunt here. Gotai will bat from the left side against the Skeeters right-hander. Gotai singled and scored last inning, part of that 4-run 7th inning. Skeeters led 4-0 going into that inning. Tied at 4-4. That's where we stand here in the top half of the 8th. Gotai, see if he lays one down here. So far, 1 for 3. They set up outside, not scram. There he goes. And he squares but takes it for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Pounds was crashing in from 3rd. 4 runs on 11 hits for the Ducks. 4 runs on 7 hits for your Skeeters. The Duckies have committed 1 error. The Skeeters, none. And the 0-1. Throw to first. Skeeters right-handers all with those great moves. There's Jake Hale, who is now a player coach, been teaching him. He's the guy who leads with 12 pickoffs. That's leading by example. Gotai, 267, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs. The 0-1 here from AJ. Nope, another throw to first. Perfect throw, low into the right of the first base bag, but diving back in head first was Kraus. Kraus, not what you would call a threat to steal. He's a big lumbering guy. Well, when he goes. He makes it. 4 of 5 in steals and another bunt. This one a good one. Hugs the third base line. Pounds, barehands it, fires it to first. Gets go tie. He had plenty of time, but now the go-ahead run down at second. And the sack bunt will go down 5-3.
I think Richardson, or excuse me, Johnson is pretty lucky the Pounds had a beat on that bunt. It was very well placed down that third base line. I think any other third baseman, I think Gotai is on with a base hit on that one.
Now they're going to intentionally walk Angelo Sanko here. Put runners on first and second to set up the double play. I think that is the right move there. And AJ with that great splitter will have a righty-righty matchup, and I think we're going to get a pinch runner here as well, and we will. Let's see, that is
Jordan Hinshaw.
Yes, indeed. Former B. Alex Berg will step in. Kind of surprised they pinch ran there. Really, the key run is the guy at second, Kraus, but you don't want to lose his bat. Well, Berg has struck out, had a bunt single himself, and then lined to center field. That Cole Gillespie robbed them of a hit on a great play coming in feet first from left center. AJ with a great splitter, but always the danger of the splitters goes to dirt, goes to the backstop, and first pitch is low. Fastball misses 1-0. 4-4 here in the top of the 8th. Ducks threatening with 2 on and 1 down. Berg, a catcher, if you can get him hit on the ground, certainly a double play candidate. AJ looks at second, comes home, swung on and missed. A throw down to first, and Cordero so good this season at picking runners off second and first. Hit it close down at first. Hinshaw, who just came in, almost got picked off. That's the danger of the Skeeter staff. To worry about not only the pitchers, the right-handers especially. Amazingly, usually lefties are the guys with all the pickoffs have done well, and you have to worry about Cordero behind the dish. The 1-1. Swung and hit up the middle. Prince off the bag and into center field. That's going to score a run. Kraus will come home, and it is 5-4 Ducks, and a bad break. It was a sure double play. Prince was right behind second waiting for it to just step on second and throw it to first. Instead, it kicks off the second base bag into center. Kraus scores, and the Skiers have blown a 4-0 lead. They trail now 5-4, and Bluefish fans are at their peak right now. My goodness. That's the baseball gods telling you something. It'll be a base hit. An RBI for Berg, his 41st of the year. Runners on the corners now, and now the Ducks have a chance for some insurance. Still only one away here. This one is a slow grounder to the left side. Pounds tries a barehanded, was going to throw it home and overruns it. And now it's a 6-4 game. It should be an infield single. See if they score that one officially.
I mean, it is just all going wrong for the Skeeters, and it's really just a bunch of unlucky breaks. It's not like the pitching staff has been hit very hard. It's just that these balls are finding the exact crevices where they need to be to move base runners station to station for the Ducks, and it's coming at the Skeeters' expense and also the Bluefish expense.
Whereas on first and second, still only one out. The number 9 hitter Dan Lyons, who the last inning got a key little number himself, which extended the inning. He wound up droving in a run, and then the next 2 batters drove in runs, part of that 4-run 7th. Swan skied into shallow left field. Pounds will bring it down. Both runners will stay put. Third baseman goes out to almost medium left field down the line. So 2 on with 2 out. 6-4 the Ducks in front. They scored 4 times in the 7th and 2 more here in the 8th. Back to the top of the order now with Giovanni Alfonso. Alfonso with a 2-for-4 night. He is singled twice and driven in 2. Albert Cordell with a quick word to AJ. I always say when you're down in the score, but you're out hitting another team by 3 or more hits, you usually wind up eventually taking the lead, and that's what the Ducks have done here. They're now up 6-4 They have 11 hits to the Skeeter 7. Excuse me, 12 hits to the Skeeter 7. First pitch here by AJ is down the middle for a strike here on Alfonso. Skeeters were eliminated last night, so to them this game is irrelevant, but to the Ducks and the Bluefish, who are probably listening along, this is huge. Skeeters still have 2 more cracks at it in the bottom half of this inning and in the 9th. All is not lost for Bluefish fans. AJ just trying to get out of this inning. 10 pitches, 7 for strikes. This one low and in near the feet. Giovanni Alfonso. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, 2 in. 6-4. The Ducks in front. Johnson looks at second, comes home. This one low in the dirt, scooped out by Cordero. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Pace here of AJ has really slowed down. This one low as well. That'll run the count to 3-1, and AJ 1 pitch away from loading the bases here. AJ from the stretch, the 3-1. This one low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And the Skeeters cannot get out of the 8th as the 8th man comes to hit here in Elmer Reyes. Reyes is 2 for 4 as well, 2 singles and an RBI. And if it was the other way around, in other words, if the shoe was on the other foot, the Skeeters were still in this playoff hunt, the wind would be out of their sails right now as the momentum has been killed. Skeeters were dominating this game through the first 6. Patrick Mincy, 6 shutout innings. Skeeters were up 4-0. First pitch misses, down low, 1-0. Reyes came in at .303, 5 home runs, 55 RBIs. Now 56 with his ribby tonight. He's won a strike on the outside corner, 1-1 the count. The always dangerous Lou Ford on deck. 2 in, 2 out. Bases loaded here in the top half of the 8th inning for the Ducks. Skeeters are down 6-4. Andrew Johnston kicks, deals, and a check swing. Did not go. 2-1 the count. AJ usually a pretty quick worker, but slowing down here with the bases full. You'll get the sign from Cordero, pitching from the stretch with the bases full. Swung and foul deep down the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in. Ducks leading by 2, 6-4. And the bases loaded here with 2 down. Berg is at third. Cleary Jr. at second. And Giovanni Alfonso on at first. Big pitch here for AJ. Does not want to go full with the bases full. The 2-2. Swung on and hit into center field. Gillespie catches up with the line drive. And that'll do it. But not before. Here in the 8th, the Ducks send 8 men to the plate. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base. Middle of the 8th, Ducks have their first lead of the night. They're up by a pair, 6-4. 17. Berg drove in the run. And then an RBI by Delta Cleary Jr. You have time to throw in one more? Thank you. Grady's in.
On comes Dennis O'Grady for the bottom of the 8th inning. The Ducks now have taken a 6-4 lead over the Skeeters. O'Grady this season is 5-7 with a 4.69 ERA. Recently moved to the bullpen. 35 total games, 15 starts, 103 innings pitched, 101 hits, 58 runs, 52 walks, 80 strikeouts, league hitting .254 against O'Grady.
O'Grady, a Long Island native from Floral Park. Trying to set it up for Emilio Diaz. The Ducks battle back from a 4-0 deficit. They lead 6-4. First pitch down low to Caleb Ramsey. Bottom of the order here in the bottom of the 8th. 7, 8, and 9. Ramsey, Wilfredo Rodriguez, and Joe Benson. That's 2 outings scoreless for O'Grady. And squares the bunt here. Ramsey scoring a lot here in this game. Takes this one for a strike, however. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. O'Grady is 31-24 lifetime with a 4.54 ERA, 11 saves, had a career high 10 saves in 2013 in Lake Elsinore in the Cal League. He went 3-7 that year, however, and a 3.86 ERA, all out of the bullpen in 54 appearances to get those 10 saves. Originally drafted by the Padres in the 34th round out of Duke. Swan and hit into left center field over the head of Dan Lyons. Went as high up the ladder as he could, just a little short. And a leadoff single here for the Skeeters. They'll bring the tying run to the plate in Wilfredo Rodriguez. Grady went to the famed Archbishop Malloy High School in Queens, New York, usually known as a basketball high school, but Grady, a pretty good baseball player out of there. Got himself to Duke. Well, that'll bring in Wilfredo Rodriguez, who was grounded out to short, walked and fouled out. Great play by first baseman Ruben Gotay, reaching into the first row to take a foul ball away and turn it into an out. This one is hit into right center field. Long run by Delta Cleary Jr., but he's going to catch up to that one in right center for out number 1. And Cleary Jr. seems to play on the opposite side of no matter what hitter is up. So 1 on and 1 out for the number 9 hitter Joe Benson, who was grounded to the third, struck out, and was robbed on a great play by Dan Lyons at short. Skeeters trailing 6-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Emilio Diaz, who is the Ducks closer, has had a lot of work lately, but I'm sure he's going to come into this game as long as the Ducks still have the lead. Well, in steps Benson. Joe came in at 256, 8 home runs and 38 RBIs. First pitch swung and hit into center field. Low sinking liner, and again Cleary Jr. tracks it down for out number 2. Ton of speed by Delta Cleary. Mosquitoes now down to the final 4 outs as we go back to the top of the order with Josh Prince. Prince 0 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. Six-4, the Ducks in front here in the 8th inning. Number 7 steps in. Prince came in at 265, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs. Now has more steals than ribbies. 53 stolen bases, leads the Atlantic League, 52 RBIs, and a strike here. 0-1 the count to Prince. A stolen base year this will be thanks to Prince. He has set the Skeeters single season record. He owns the all-time record, and he can help the Skeeters to a team record. Triple crown of steals, if you will. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Prince. Prince and Berg exchanging a chuckle there. They set up away. The 1-1 is fouled down the right side. And the Bluefish fans listening to this one. And Prince, a former Bluefish, joined the Skeeters last year for the first time, but played with the Bluefish in 2015. Prince now has 101 career stolen bases in the Atlantic League, 300 and change for his career. He got number 300 this year as well. Setting all kinds of records and personal bests. Skeeters are trailing 6-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2 swung on, popped up right side. Will Berg have room? Yes, and he catches it right on the Skeeters on deck circle, and that will do it. You know, that's not what the Bluefish fans want to hear, as the former Bluefish tried to help him out. And Skeeters get a leadoff single, but leave Ramsey stranded. We are through 8 innings of play. Skeeters still trailing by a pair, 6-4 here to Long Island.
Skeeters enter the 9th inning down 6-4 to the Long Island Ducks. On comes their 5th pitcher of the night, and it's the return of Chris Tribbett. He has no record this year, a 3.52 earned run average in 19 games, pitching for the first time for the Skeeters in a couple of months. 23 innings pitched this year, 27 hits, 11 runs, 9 walks, 20 strikeouts, league hitting .287 against Tribbett. He's not a big dude, stands just 5'11", 185 pounds, from Collinsville, Oklahoma, and really bends over in the stretch position and delivers each one of his pitches sidearm. We'll see how the Long Island Ducks hitters pick up on that.
The Submariners sidearm hybrid will have the tough part of the order. 3, 4, and 5. Lou Ford, Mark Krause, Ruben Gotay. So 2 of the 3 former big leaguers. Actually, all 3 former big leaguers. Ford, so far tonight, is being kept in check. He has flattened to left, popped out to second, and found out each of his last 2 times up. Oh, the Collinsville, Oklahoma native ready here. First pitch, slings it in there for a ball low and in. 1 ball and no strikes. I know a lot of Chris's friends and family listen in, so nice to have them aboard, as well as the rest of the Skeeters friends and family, and the Bridgeport fans listening in as well. This one low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The 2-0 coming here from Tribbett. This one is a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Skeeters trailing by a pair, 6-4 here in the top half of the ninth. Well, the 2-1. Swung and missed. That slider's nasty when he has it working. 2-2 as Ford chased the ball low and away. Tribbett is a player slash manager in the Pecos League and a teammate of Skeeters bullpen catcher Jeff Allen won the Pecos League title one year. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count here. Chris, 30 years old. Ducks 6 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The Skeeters 4-8-0. This one high and outside. That'll run the count full 3-2 here on Lou Ford. Chris with that upside down L stretch position of his. This one down low, so he loses Ford, and the leadoff man walks here. So 1 on, none out for Mark Krause, and that gets tough for Chris. 2 of the next 3 lefties, and Ruben Gotay, the switch hitter, in between. So for all intents and purposes, 3 straight lefties for Tribbett. Krause walked, struck out, flied out, singled, and scored last time up, so he is 1 for 3 officially. Came in 282, 21 home runs, and 83 RBIs. Ford a very short lead over at first. This one swung and fouled back, and I think Chris may have gotten away with 1 there. That one left right over the plate. Krause fouled it back into the net. So no balls and 1 strike to count here. Tribbett looks in for the side from Cordero. Well, set up away in the 0-1. Just misses a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Krause, born and raised in Deschler, Ohio, as they nickname it the Corn City. The 1-1, swung and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Played wiffle ball on a field in which cornfield served as the outfield fences a la Field of Dreams. Don't know if Shoeless Joe came out of those cornfields. Went to a lot of Cleveland games growing up. Was a big Jim Thome fan, being a left-handed hitter himself. This one swung and fouled back with Ford on the move. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Mark was actually one of the most prolific high school wide receivers in state history. In 3 years of football at Patrick Henry High in Hamler, Ohio, collected 46 receiving touchdowns and 3,460 receiving yards. It's one of the places amongst the top 5 in both categories. Even used the leg, as 171 career extra points, which still ranks amongst the top 10. The 1-2. Check swing, misses outside, 2-2. He gave up the gridiron because of Ohio head coach Joe Carbone was tugging Krause in the direction of playing baseball, and it really paid off. Set Ohio University records with 27 home runs and 70 RBIs and an .852 slugging percentage, as this one misses inside, 3-2. Krause was the first Bobcat to be named Mid-American Conference Player of the Year after ranking among the top 2 in average at 369, on base percentage at 471, and slugging percentage at 610. This one is hit out to right center field. That's going to fall in. And that one is going to be cut up before it goes to the wall by Cole Gillespie. It's going to be a double, and second and third. No outs here for the Ducks as they have a chance for a knockout blow right here.
Well struck again by Mark Krause, and Benson with a gamble there to try and dive and make that catch. He's lucky that Gillespie was on his horse ready to back him up. If not, a run would have scored.
Speaking of place kickers, the voice of the Bridgeport Bluefish is the record for longest field goal on Long Island, 56 yards. Although for a guy who is the Incredible Hulk for Halloween, I'm doubting he can get the distance these days. So 2 on, none out here. Even Gotai steps in. Kind of surprised they're not going to intentionally walk him here. Load the bases. Skeeters will bring the infield in here. Ford leads off of third. Krause off of second. This one low and in. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Ducks leading 6-4 here in the top half of the 9th. Tribbett from the stretch fires the 1-0, is low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Chris, I do not throw Gotai a strike here. If he walks him, he load the bases with no outs. Not really much of a difference. And second and third no outs, except that you have a force at every base, so a little advantage. This one swung and a miss, that a ball low and in. As Gotai was just gearing up what he hoped was a fastball. Two balls and 1 strike to count here to Gotai, the former big leaguer. Jordan Hinshaw, who pinch ran for Angelo Sanko, is on deck. Three and 1 the count now, and I think Tribbett will give him the old unintentional intentional walk here. This one chop foul on a ball buried in on his hands. That'll run the count full 3 and 2. 14 hit attack now for the Ducks. They have 6 runs. Skeeters 8 hits, 4 runs. If the Ducks hold on here, their magic number would be 1. Payoff pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3. As Gotai goes down, there's out number 1. That'll bring in Jordan Hinshaw, who was just recently traded from the Bees here to Long Island. In 81 total games this season between both teams, he is hitting .318, 2 home runs, 26 RBIs, also has 12 steals in 15 attempts. And I think they're going to intentionally walk him here.
Nope.
Cordero was pointing towards first, but maybe that was about something else. Infield will remain in here. So in steps Hinshaw. Sanko was 2 for 3. He was intentionally walked. 2 singles and a run scored, also flying out to right. So Hinshaw batting for the first time after coming in and pinch running. This one nubbed foul back into the left of home. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on, a 2-run lead here for the Ducks in the top half of the 9th. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. There'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Skeeters. Cordero, Gillespie, and Scott trailing by at least 2. Long look in here by Tribbett. This one slung outside, misses. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Well, Chris unfortunately does not have an overpowering fastball. A real gutty pitcher, relies on getting those pitches on the corners. This one swung, and that one got a piece of Cordero right in the chest. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count here. Tribbett now 12 strikes, 12 balls, 24 total pitches.
And he's only faced 4 batters. Each of the last 3 have worked to full counts, and Now Hinshaw at 2-2 against Tribbett.
Number 31 will go back to the top of the hill. Home plate umpire. It's a new set of baseballs to give Cordero a little more time to recover. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, a 2-run lead here for the Ducks in the top of the 9th. They're up 6-4. The 2-2 swung on, popped up. That will make the seats to our right. Count remains 2-2. Tomorrow in game 2 of this series, Sugar Land will send out former big leaguer Mitch Talbot, having a great season. 9-3 with a 3.11 ERA against righty Jake Dunning, who was 2-2 with a 3.37 ERA. The 2-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. So Tribbett now with a chance to get out of it after allowing a leadoff walk and a double, putting runners on second and third. He strikes out Go Ty and now strikes out Hinshaw. 2 on, 2 out for Alex Berg. Mr. Berg, Alex Berg. And here comes Rafi Montalvo. This is not going to be a pitching change, just a little discussion here. Probably just had to handle Berg. Berg has struck out, had a bunt single, was robbed on a great play by Cole Gillespie in center, had an RBI single last time up, so he is 2 for 4. After the game, fireworks, so make sure you stick around. And Chris will actually exit this game. We will get a new pitcher here. Chris was almost out of his jam. 2 on, 2 out. We'll take a break. We'll come back and tell you who the new Skeeters hurler is when we return here in just a moment. Skeeters trailing 6-4.
Sixth pitcher of the night for the Skeeters is Manny Corpus with 2 on, second and third in the top of the 9th.
Now first pitch is strike on the outside corner to Alex Berg. Berg came in at 222, 12 home runs and 40 RBIs.
Corpus is 1-5 this year between both Sugar Land and the York Revolution. He has a 5.97 earned run average in 2017, 38 games. 34 2/3 innings pitched, 58 hits, 25 runs, 19 walks, 30 strikeouts. League hitting .392 against Corpus. Came in for Chris Tribett, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, responsible for both runners at second and third.
So one fouled off to the right side, so Corpus ahead of Berg 0-2. Former big league closer trying to close it down here. Tribett got in and almost out of trouble. Allowed runs on second and third, struck out 2 straight hitters. Was taken out of the game for Corpus. Corpus, that's in 19 saves in the big leagues for the Rockies when they went on that magical 21 of 22. And speaking of, nothing more magical than the Indians right now. 122 straight. One shot foul. That would hit Berg in the face. Wow. Seems to recover quickly. Maybe it just nicked a piece of his ear, perhaps. Yeah, he's saying it hit his ear and then hit the tip of his helmet.
Yeah, it may have hit off the right side of his face somewhere, the part that's unprotected by the ear protector. Of course, you've only got that ear flap on the left side if you're a right-handed hitter to protect yourself from the baseball coming in on a pitch, but that other side is completely exposed.
Speaking of that streak, it is now over. Kansas City edges out the Indians 4-3, ending their 22 straight victories. What a run that was. Unbelievable. They were 4 shy of the record. That was still going to be hard to do. Man, oh man.
And last night was their only walk-off win in that entire stretch.
And amazingly, over 100 runs better than their opponents during that stretch. It seems like when you win a close one on a streak, you generally lose the next day or the day after. The 0-2 foul back over our heads, 0-2. I don't know why baseball works that way. It just does. Like when you get a hit in your final at bat to extend the streak, it usually ends the next night. So 2 on, 2 out. A 2-run lead here for Long Island, 6-4 in the top of the 9th. An 0-2 count here on Alex Berg, who has fouled off a couple of tough pitches. Corpus from the stretch. They set up away the 0-2. Low and away, 1-2. Corpus wasting a pitch ahead, 0-2. Indians certainly on a mission. Game 7, they lost in extra innings and very close to winning. This one a slow roller. This is trouble. Pounds will have to bare-end it, fire to first and high, and I wasn't going to get him anyway. Scoring here is Ford, and now a 3-run lead here for the Ducks, 7-4.
Yeah, another tough play for Pounds. He's had to try and pick a lot of ground balls off the grass. Has been very aggressive at third base, and that time had no chance to get Berg on that infield hit.
Just a bunch of dinks and dunks. Talk about hitting them where they ain't. My goodness. Bunt singles, slow rollers, infield hits, balls hitting off second base bags. If you're looking at this objectively, you have to say the baseball gods are clearly on the side of the Ducks, at least in this game. I don't know if it's for the Bluefish or against them, but clearly in favor tonight of Long Island. Corpus still not out of the woods. Runners on the corners, and this one is low, 1-0. Delta Cleary Jr., the switcher to batting here from the left side. He has struck out, popped out, had an infield single, one of those little dunkers, and then had a single and an RBI also on an infield single. So he's been a beneficiary of some of those little bleeders. Check swing, but he went through there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 7-4, the Ducks leading. They got 4 in the 7th, a pair in the 8th, 1 more here in the 9th to erase a 4-0 deficit. The 1-1 here from Corpus. This one a strike on the inside corner, 1-2 the count. Amazingly, after all these years, 6 years in all, the Ducks and the Skeeters have been playing each other. They came into tonight's action tied at 53 all time. Amazing. The 1-2 here to Delta Cleary Jr. This one poked foul left side. Count remains 1-2. Skeeters have been the beneficiary of winning at home, but the Ducks play very well at Bethpage Ballpark. Skeeters are 35-22 here against the Ducks at Constellation Field, but just 23-37 at Bethpage Ballpark. Again, the 1-2. This one is just over our heads. Slow popper onto the second deck. Count remains 1-2. Hit attack by the Ducks tonight. They lead 7-4. Skeeters 8 hits. Corpus gets the sign. They set up inside again. Corpus will throw to first, however. Getting back is Berg. Corpus just can't get out of this inning. Now he's ready. They'll go back inside for a third straight time. Again, the 1-2. And looked like it was strike three. The entire infield took a step towards their dugout. Called the ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Runners on the corners. Skeeters down by 3 as the Ducks have scored another run here in the 9th. They trail 7-4. They set up away this time. The 2-2. Swan and hit to Prince and just over his head and into right center field. This will get another run in. Kraus will score. Going to third is Berg, and it is an 8-4 Ducks lead. Delta Cleary Jr. his second RBI of the night, 45th of the season.
I mean, it's crazy how the Skeeters relievers just have not been able to get out of either the 7th or the 8th, and even here in the 9th.
They look back. Maybe Patrick Mincy has pulled a bit early in this game. 6 shutout innings, a 4-hit ball. It's been all Ducks since that change. So the number 9 hitter, Dan Lyons, will step in. He's 1 for 4. He is grounded out, fouled out, hit into a double play, and had one of those bleeders himself, an infield single that drove in a run as part of that 4-run 7th, and that started it all. That made it 4-1. Righty-righty matchup here for Corpus, who slings that in sidearm. One down low, 1-0. One of the Ducks championships, it was Lyons who got the bunt heard around the world. A walk-off bunt in the deciding Game 5 matchup, was the MVP of the championship series. This one hit into right center field, but Benson is there, and he'll bring it down, and mercifully, this inning comes to an end. But not before the Ducks and a pair. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Last chance for the Skeeters. They're down 4, bottom of the 9th when we get back. They're down 8-4 to the Ducks.
Bottom of the 9th inning in Sugarland as the Skeeters trail 8-4. On comes the 5th pitcher of the night for the Long Island Ducks. It's the right-hander Tyler Wilson, coming on in a non-save situation. 2-2, a 5.16 earned run average in 22 games. He has 1 save this year. 22 2/3 innings pitched, 20 hits, 13 runs, 15 walks, 26 strikeouts. League hitting .235 against Tyler Wilson. Standing 6'6", 235 pounds, Athens, Georgia native. and comes on for Dennis O'Grady, who had a nice 8th inning, only allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts for O'Grady.
Now Tyler Wilson, former big leaguer, spent time with the Orioles from 2015 to 2017. An 8-10 career record in the bigs, a 5.02 ERA. Mosquitoes are down 8-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Cordero, Gillespie, and Travis Scott. Albert Cordero is 1 for 3 with a single, a stolen base, a run scored, and a walk. Wilson shined at Virginia, part of the starting rotation. This one is a little bit high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Wilson pitched for 4 years and earned spot in the school's top 10 victories and strikeouts. Played a big role during the senior year when the Cavaliers won 56 games and earned a spot in the College World Series. The 1-0, this one high 2-0. Wilson won the 2011 Lowe's Senior Class Award, the award given to someone each year, the most outstanding student athlete in NCAA Division I. This one is grounded to second. Gobbling it up is Reyes. He'll throw it to first. 4-3 on the putout. There's one down, and the Skitters down to their final 2 outs here, trailing 8-4. Gillespie has walked, struck out, grounded to third. He has also singled, stolen a base, and scored a run. Skitters trailing 8-4 here. 8 runs on 15 hits for Long Island. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Skitters. Well, in steps Gillespie. Cole came in at 297, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs, and the first pitch here a strike. 0-1 the count. The 0-1, this one over the head of Gillespie, had a duck under that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th, Skitters trailing 8-4. Wilson back to work now. No action in the Ducks bullpen. It will only be if Wilson gets in trouble. Trouble here as he plunks Gillespie on the elbow. We'll head down to first. 1 on and 1 out here for Travis Scott. Scott having a great night. He has been on base all 4 times. He has walked, singled twice, and homered, his 12th of the year. He's also driven in a run, in 2 runs, excuse me. Now has 58 RBIs on the season. Scott could make it interesting here if he can get it on. The tying run would still be on double deck even if he reaches. Check, swing up high, 1-1. Well, set up outside here on Scott. This one is a strike at the knees, 1-1. Wilson spent the last 3 years, or 3 of the last 4 years. He did not pitch in 2015 in the Can-Am League. Last year with Ottawa. This one swung and sky to left. Mark Krause is underneath at the left fielder, drifting near the manual scoreboard, reaches up and hauls it in for the second out. And Skitters down to their final out here. The last chance to keep this one alive is Kevin Ahrens. Ahrens is 0 for 4. He has struck out, flied out twice, and lined out once. Ahrens came in at 280, 12 home runs, 68 RBIs. Skitters down 8-4 here in the bottom of the 9th. It was all Skitters through the first 6. It has been all Ducks through the final 3. Skitters got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the 4th, and have not scored since. The Ducks got 4 in the 7th inning, and a pair in the 8th and 9th as Ahrens broke his bat there, and he will have to get a new piece of lumber. The Skeeters down to their final strike here. No balls and 2 strikes here in Ahrens. Ducks 8 runs on 16 hits. Skeeters 4 runs on 8. All teams have made the most of their hits. Really, 2 hits per run is exactly where you should be, and that's where both teams are. So it looks like the Ducks will decrease their magic number to 1, which means any Ducks win in the next 2 nights or any Bluefish loss in the next 2 nights would mean that the Ducks would be Freedom Division champs, and then it would be a matter to see who wins the, Liberty Division champs. It would be a matter to see who wins the Freedom Division. And there goes the runner. That will be a defensive indifference, and had that been a stolen base, the Skeeters would have set a new team record for steals, but that will not count. The old defensive indifference, and in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's no attempt to throw out a runner. It's different from not wanting to throw one away in a close situation, but when there is 0 attempt and the guy is just let go to go down to second or third, does not count as a stolen base. This one is low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner down at second, Cole Gillespie, and the Skeeters trailing 8-4 here in the bottom of the 9th. Wilson 13 pitches, 6 for strikes, but 7 for balls. Swung and hit right to Dan Lyons at short. He left his feet, pulled down the line drive bullet, and that's the game as the Skeeters blow a 4-0 lead and lose 8-4. Final numbers look like this: 8 runs, 16 hits, 1 error for the Ducks, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Skeeters. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you the final numbers, highlights. Andy Humphrey will have our player of the game, and we will preview tomorrow's Game 2 matchup. All that and more. We return on the Skeeters post-game show in a moment.